I'm talking about.
Okay. I think we are about ready to start already, though. That's the good news. The bad news is there is no bad news. I know some of you don't like that. What the
was
fuck? That was Christian, I think.
Sorry.
Let's go. Your
again.
drums.
My I had the I'm like my gun is just
Your gun. Yeah, I saw those NSL games. People will talk about that at the top. All right. Stop shooting me.
It's all over me.
What the fuck was that one?
All over me.
Sorry, now I'm doing
the
it.
soundboard.
Master Chief comes.
Hey, the classic.
Okay. I think I'm ready. I don't know. Let me just let's test the audio. Let's do that. That's what we should do.
Did you
Oh
tweet?
yeah, the
Yeah, test the
music.
audio.
I'll test the audio and then I'll tweet.
Get the music.
Cutting the music. This is from Liberty City Stories, I think.
Oh, those games.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Turning that
You
up.
just like playing
Hey,
your.
you guys hear me? Start cheering now.
You guys did hear that.
Yes.
Okay. Then I
And
think
they did too. Yeah.
we are good. I am just gonna tweet, and then we'll get started.
Please don't bother my friend. He's dead tired.
Gotta love stupid.
Dead tired. He's dead tired. I need to watch that Arnold documentary on Netflix.
Yeah.
People say he's very open about the drugs and shit.
Oh, good.
Okay. Sounds
What
like fun.
drugs? No way.
He's clean. You could feel a whole boat in that bag.
Nope, let me
was so
get the
clean.
Video link. Okay, there we go.
You tweet it?
About to.
You tweet it? Have you tweeted? Are you tweeting? Tweeting. When are we gonna get into that blue sky everybody's getting into?
I'm over on that blue sky. Just don't tweet on it. Or
Do you
I
have,
don't
do you have an
skeet on it.
invite? Can I get an
Yeah, I
invite?
kind of forget it. I'm on there too, but I forget.
I might have an invite.
Ooh, shoot me an
People
invite.
using it.
Yeah, we
Was
want
it
to
off it?
skeet.
I want to skeet.
God damn.
Yeah. I want an invite.
Okay. All right. I think I'm ready to count us in. John Leguizamo is ready to count us in.
Let's fucking go.
Holy
Wow.
shit, that's incredible.
We got sent this. Who was it that sent this to us, man? Shane. His name is Shane. The listener sent this to us, and it was at our virtual offices in Cleveland. We picked it up before we went to Margaritaville. So
Yeah.
Awesome.
There
Nice
you go.
shadow dancer, Jeff. There, Jeff.
I love the pest.
Yep, that's good stuff. All right, I'm gonna count us in. I'm gonna hit the button. Mike, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. We are going in 5, 4, 3.
Hey, you guys hear me? Start cheering now. Yeah, let's get this over with. Yeah.
Woof woof. Hi, I'm Mike Minotti, and I am a Nintendog.
Hi, I'm Jeff Grubb, and I am a Nintendog.
And we are the last of the Nintendogs. Today, Nintendo wants a smooth transition. New NSO titles have just dropped. We've got a lot of questions from our community to answer to. But Jeff, I got to know, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. I am almost finished building the playhouse thingy for my daughters. I had a few hours between work and this, And I got the swing set part pretty much done, although we're missing one bolt. But well, I mean, if the whole thing
They sell
falls
bolts
apart,
at stores. That's
exactly.
okay.
I'll just go to the store and get a bolt, or maybe I'll forget. We'll see. Depends on how much I love my children. I guess we'll have to find out.
Yeah, sometimes they're stinkers, you know.
Yeah, sometimes they're real
Sometimes they
stinkers.
can learn something from a collapsing playhouse, right?
That's right. It will build character.
Like how you looked over, like you're worried they're gonna come right
I
after
heard
you called them
noises. I
stinkers.
heard noises. I don't want them coming and hurt me. They're very abusive.
Yeah, they are in charge.
They are. They rule this place. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I've been working on that, and now I am ready to do a podcast with you.
That's good. We got to hang out yesterday. It was a lot of fun. We were all up in Cleveland. We partied at Margaritaville. We went to the Cheesecake Factory. We watched Commando. It was a really good time. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was really good. That was a good way to hang out, watch that movie. The first time I watched it in a couple of months. You gotta re-up every couple of months. I had a very good time. That was a good idea all around. I'm glad we did it.
There was a point where, like, once I realized, so like we had a late lunch at Margaritaville, and then we got dinner at Cheesecake Factory.
Living our best life.
We're gonna watch Commando, one of my favorite movies ever. I think I asked you at one point, we're doing all of my favorite things. Like, are you gonna tell me I have cancer or something at the end of the night?
Yeah.
What's going on here?
Yep, it was too good to be true, except for it wasn't. We finally made it happen. It was fun to have Dan run over to the house real quick and watch that movie. We have the audio if you want to sync it up for your own amusement and watch Commando with us as we watch Commando. The podcast version or the MP3s in the Discord, and I'll put a version of it up, or I think Christian said he put a version of it up on the thing for Patreons. So if you subscribe to the Patreon podcast feed, you should be able to get it from there. So we tried to put it on YouTube, but YouTube's like, you played a copyrighted song for 5 seconds at the end. We can't have that.
Yeah, the credits song for Commando didn't like that. Oh well. All right, Jeff. Let's get into this though. But hey, if you are watching live, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. If you can hit that thumbs up button, we would like that. Helps people find the show, makes us feel good. You can also ask us a question with a super chat, or just leave a comment, or say whatever you want in there, really, and we will respond to that live during the show. So thank you so much. All right, Jeff, first thing here, as I said, this seems to happen a lot lately when we go live, but new Nintendo Switch online games have dropped. This time, Sega Genesis games for that expansion pack. Pretty great drop here. We have Ghouls and Ghosts, which is probably the best of the launch games, or at least early Genesis games, until probably Castle of Illusion came out, from what I can remember. This was a very good port of the Capcom kind of arcade classic. I've been actually wanting to play this version recently, so I'm glad it's here. Very excited about that. Crusader of Senti. This is a Zelda-like, probably the best Zelda-like on the system.
Yep.
It was a late release for Genesis, so a lot of people sort of missed out on the time, and most people probably caught up with it on emulators and stuff. And now that's on here, so that's a big one too. So that's really good. Landstalker is another Zelda-like. It has a bit more of an isometric view. It's also a pretty fun game. It's a cool one to check out. Then the Revenge of Shinobi. I love Shinobi 3. This is Shinobi 2. This was another sort of early game for the system. Sadly, this won't be that original version where they just had Spider-Man and Batman and Godzilla in it as bosses.
And they're cowards. They're afraid to break copyright law, unlike us.
Yes, but that's also a fantastic game. So yeah. 4 very good games here. I'm really glad we got these, even though we've already been getting some drops lately. I'm encouraged that they seem to be picking the pace up a little bit with the NSO stuff again. And yeah, I think I said before that I think the Genesis library is actually the best that they've got on there. Just the one I actually go back to the most. And man, here are 4 more great games.
Yeah, it's cool.
Check these out?
Yes, I am. I started Crusader of Senti on my Genesis Mini 2, my Mega Drive Mini 2, which is where I have it right now. But I'm like, I want to play it someplace easy, like a Switch, for example. So this will be pretty cool. I played a ton of that version of Ghouls and Ghosts at my friend's house on his Genesis as a kid. That'll be great. I played a lot of Revenge of Shinobi on his Genesis as well, and I've always been interested in Landstalker. So I'll try out all these. This is great. This is a really good drop.
Yeah, these are definitely like all games that like I was like, oh, it'd be nice if these were on NSO, and here they all are. Plus, we're getting Revenge of Shinobi. I bet we'll be getting Shadow Dancer not too much longer, hopefully. And there are a few games still missing from there. I still hope that they can get Rocket Knight on there. Just got to talk to Konami for a second on that one. But yeah, this is very encouraging, cool to see. I'm going to be excited to check these out. I'm almost more excited as I love to do to find out where I'm going to organize them in my NSO library there. So that's always fun.
Yeah, you enjoyed. I never do that. Whenever I stream that stuff, I get yelled at for not organizing my library of games that I don't own.
This development doesn't shock me that we're learning about our personalities this way.
Exactly. Like I'll find it. There's not that many games on there. I'll just find what I'm looking for.
Although I might be weird because for some reason I like organize it from the bottom to the top. Like I have the most important stuff on the bottom, and Dan's like, "That's weird," and I didn't realize it was weird until I said it. But yeah, every time you open that up, it does start you at the top. I don't know why I associated the bottom as the beginning.
Yeah, that is weird.
I just have a lot of respect for bottoms. Okay. In a translator invested call, Nintendo president Shintaro Furukawa said that Nintendo is looking for a smoother transition going to its next generation machine. The quote here is, as for the transition from Nintendo Switch to the next generation console, we want to do as much as possible in order to smoothly transition our customers while utilizing the Nintendo account. He noted that there are already 290 million Nintendo accounts in use across Switch and mobile. So, hey, yeah, why wouldn't you use those? But it's Nintendo. People can never be too sure. But yeah, you have 290 million people, a lot of which have given you credit card information. Why would you make them make a new account? Still, this is very encouraging to hear. It doesn't say anything about backwards compatibility yet, although this certainly seems to be an important step to that. Jeff, what do you make of this? It's also just fun to hear them talking about a next generation console.
I think we mentioned this in the last couple of weeks. It's like at these investor meetings, we'll start getting things that are like alluding to their thinking at the very least. And here we are. They are talking about it in so many words. I think that it's, I mean, you hit it. This is indicative that we are going to get some pretty solid backward compatibility, or at the very least, if they don't do backward compatibility, they're going to look like a bunch of fucking tools. Like, it's like, why do I have the same account if I don't have any of the stuff I purchased before? So it kind of forces them into a corner where they need to actually deliver on that stuff, or else kind of look a bit silly. And I'm all for that. It's what we should be getting. This is kind of along the lines of what they've been saying in these investor calls for several years now, where like, hey, we've built up this success of the subscription services and all this other stuff, and we just want that to keep growing. We don't want to start over at the beginning of the next console cycle. So here we are, them committing to this Nintendo account, and I'm fine with that. I hope it gets more robust in terms of features, in terms of messaging friends online on Nintendo Switch and stuff like that. Imagine that.
You're going to have to use the app. The app will still be compatible, right?
Yeah. I guess it will be. Oh, man.
Is that the single greatest misstep of the Switch generation? That stupid phone app that we were meant to use?
Yeah, it's, I mean, what it was like in the contention there. It's that, Labo, I guess.
Labo's kind of fun, though. I'm glad Labo happened.
Labo. Yeah, you're right. But it's like, it was definitely not as successful as like Ring Fit Adventure or whatever.
No, it definitely wasn't like a thing.
That app's the worst thing. Yeah, definitely.
Definitely the stupidest thing. But yeah, it's like, so we have this account, and yeah, obviously like credit card information, friends list will carry over. But yeah, it's going to be so easy for them to just see our download history, to know what games that we do own, especially if we own them digitally, and hopefully just be able to download them onto whatever that next console is. Again, they didn't talk about backward compatibility directly, but I assume that's got to be happening. I mean, we talked about before, this was something Phil Spencer talked about when talking about that PlayStation 4 generation and how important it was. It was the worst generation to lose, were his words, because you did have all these people for the first time sort of building up what might be their permanent video game library on these platforms now. Yeah. And I know we say, oh, Nintendo's Nintendo, they're so weird. And so sometimes it seems like they have to innovate even when they don't need to. But in this, they do a new thing. But yeah, even Nintendo isn't going to throw away 290 created accounts. Like, why would you?
You wouldn't. Yeah, I mean, not if you're sane. And I think that the current leadership of Nintendo is conservative enough that they would never even entertain the idea of throwing away that many accounts.
Right. And I mean, maybe so say like maybe that was the Iwata era that he would like insist that the next system isn't just a Switch 2. I bet even he would have to kind of you would hope that everybody can look at like Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild even especially and say, hey, we don't need wacky hardware gimmicks in order to innovate. Like the video games themselves can innovate in a lot of ways. Plus, yeah, I guess Switch just is mega success compared to the Wii U, which is so obviously just the blueprint for what not to do. And, Miyamoto is the other one I think we usually associate with as well. What is the gimmick going to be on the new system, right? Because then I'm going to go and tell the press about it. And he seems almost more kind of concerned with other things at this point. So
yeah, I think that's a fair assessment.
All right, well there we go then. Nintendo has been coming up a bit in that trial, the FTC trial with Microsoft, and it is mostly just like trying to the FTC trying to pin this idea that Nintendo isn't a competitor to Microsoft or Sony, which is just wacky. It's like obviously like the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X are in slightly more direct competition with each other, but nobody thinks that Nintendo isn't part of that very same industry. And if not, then who is Nintendo competing with? Oops, then it's nobody, and they're the ones who definitely have a monopoly.
Yeah, it's a really, really good point, Mike. It's like if that's what the FTC truly believes, then it's the FTC's obligation to go after Nintendo for a monopoly. Like that is crazy.
They'd probably like make up something like, well, they compete with phones, they compete with the mobile game market. Look how they're losing that market.
Yeah,
actually,
just a crazy thing. But you're right; they would probably have some excuse. But yeah, I think Nintendo is going to keep popping up here and there. It was fun to hear Jim Ryan be like, what market is Nintendo in? They're in the console market, and it's like it's very different. It's all right, Jim Ryan. Good try. Jim Ryan not lying under oath. He didn't even try to stretch the truth ever. He just like when asked, he like said what he really believed, and it was like if they were to make Call of Duty exclusive, he was like, that would be anti-competitive, but I wouldn't like it. And it's like, man, okay, I was not expecting him to kind of come in there and just like be forthright like that. But yeah, it's been an interesting trial, and whenever Nintendo pops up, it's usually something completely ridiculous, like just these lawyers.
It's the 8th or 9th gen, and
yes.
Man, I sometimes tease you about that. I've never been more convinced that those numbers are completely worthless now than hearing people in this courtroom try to figure out if the Switch is 8 or 9. I mean, the Switch is what absolutely broke it any.
Yeah, the Switch completely
basically explaining
it was bending for a long
time.
But like the Switch is like a perfect example of why that is a useless metric. Because it's like, so wait, the Switch is the same generation as the Wii U, or is the Wii U 7? Like, because it came out, it's like, yeah, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. It's the current thing right now, and it's outselling the other newer ones.
You have to be more refined and nuanced in talking about these markets than what the fucking FTC is doing and what all these goddamn nerds on Wikipedia are doing.
Right. It's not like God.
That
this is the Gen 8
this is not handed down from above. It is us trying to figure it out. So quit trying to pretend like there is some like perfect slot to fill these things into. There's not.
It is bizarre. It's weird because like that thing seems to be going poorly to FTC for me, but you can never tell if these things sometimes. I don't know, but yes. We guess Thursday we find out how this particular case is going, but then there might be more stuff in like August. I don't know. It'll never end.
That's right.
But back to Nintendo though. Jeff, it hasn't even been a week, if you can believe it, since the Nintendo Direct.
That's right.
We haven't actually talked about it on this show, but we have talked about it a lot. But and other things. I am curious though, like kind of, almost a week later, how were you feeling about that Direct? We got that Mario RPG remake. We have Super Mario Wonder. We had some fun surprises like that I always call it the Penny game, but that 3D platformer.
Penny Dreadful, the game. Yes.
Penny Dreadful.
Penny's Big Breakout or something like that. Big Breakaway.
Something like that.
Yeah, I'm like really happy with that Direct. It's one that I give an A. I think it's like not an A+ because I was like I'm looking for like one other thing, maybe like a return of F-Zero or 1080 or Wave Race or something like that.
That's the one thing aside from like Mario RPG coming back and it's a surprise return, but still technically Mario. Like we did see like a dormant Nintendo franchise really comeback. Even the WarioWare game, we actually did just get one of those a couple years ago, technically. But yeah, there was no F-Zero or Star Fox or heaven forbid Star Tropics returning or
Right,
something.
but it's like this is
wacky
not
like
this is
that.
not even a real complaint though, because
No.
we did get Super Mario RPG, we did get a new 2D Mario, we got some cool looking Princess Peach game and a new WarioWare. I am not complaining. That is an A direct for me.
I guess I didn't even think about till just now when you said all that, how much of it is in that like core Mario family.
Yeah.
Which I mean, obviously is so bread and butter, but maybe even more so than ever going forward with the success of the movie, with this even like this broadening out of Mario. Like, people kind of complain when you go to Super Nintendo World, well, this is just the Mario stuff. Like more so than ever, that is Nintendo in a lot of ways.
Yeah, it's weird because it's like Nintendo was always like, obviously they rely on Mario and Mario's central, but Mario gets treated kind of historically gets kind of treated a little bit crappy compared to Zelda. Like whenever they bring back Mario stuff, it's usually and barely even a coat of paint, like the Super Mario 3D All Stars. Like that's what Mario gets. Zelda gets perfectly edited, updated, bespoke releases, HD.
All the care put into Skyward Sword.
All the care put into Skyward Sword.
It's plop down Sunshine in the middle of this collection with no improvements.
Exactly. And it's like, and so now it's maybe after that movie, and I'm sure they like this. It probably just comes and goes. Sometimes we're like, let's invest in Mario a little bit, and we're getting Wonder, and of course that's great. And Odyssey is like a perfect game, but it does feel like Nintendo's like, oh wow, Mario is still kind of our meal ticket after that movie. We should be treating it right, and that's kind of what it feels like coming out of that direct.
Fantastic. All right, Jeff, that's it. Kind of some starting topics here. We have been getting some super chats. I would love for us to read those. You want to pull these super chats up?
I do.
Me?
I'll pull them up, pull them out. Here we go.
Yeah, pull them.
I'm gonna whip these super chats out, and I'll start here with El Grug. How was the weekend of wrestling? And did you see Danielson's arm X-ray?
Jeff, I think you missed Forbidden Door.
Yeah, I planned to watch it. Like I was busy that day. I was with family. But I have every intention of watching that this week. So I'll be watching it soon. I've heard a lot about it. I kind of just want to see the Omega Osprey match. Yes, that's the one I'm most excited to see.
If you can only watch one match, like watch that for sure. That definitely is the highlight, and that's kind of really my big takeaway from it. Even after everything else is, that match was incredible. I'd be surprised at this point if it's not match of the year. It was just ridiculously good. They are both very good wrestlers, and I love Kenny Omega, but I've also known Osprey for a bit just from New Japan. It's been fun because like he's the one when like I first watched Wrestle Kingdom 14 or whatever it was, is the one where Omega fought Chris Jericho. So it was like the first time I think a lot of Westerners were looking at New Japan. Osprey was just in a 4-way cruiserweight match then, and it was great. He's super good in it, but he looked like a cute like a little cruiserweight guy, right? And since then he's really upped his presentation and bulked up a bit and just really been able to present himself as this main event player. So it's been great seeing that evolution. But yeah, enjoyed the pay-per-view a lot.
What's up with Danielson's arm?
Yeah, so he in the middle of his match with Okada, which was the main event, at some point he started favoring the other arm and just not using his one arm. I forget which one. I think his right arm at all, and kind of holding it up a bit. And, it's always hard to tell. Is he selling something or is this what? Right. But apparently he fractured it. I did not see the X-ray, but I did hear that he fractured it. And that makes sense because that match was very good, but there's also some weirdness to it. Some of it even unrelated to the fracture. But that maybe explains why that match was good, maybe even great, but not you think Okada and Danielson, that should be one of the greatest matches of all time. Also, it wasn't quite that.
Big Fresh 37.
Break, not a fracture. Okay, so maybe not a fracture after all, just a break. That's incredible. Well, then that almost, look, the bright side of that is, well, now that match is more impressive if he did half of it with a broken freaking arm.
That's pretty impressive, yeah. Big Fresh 37. If you were a Pikmin, which kind would you be?
I'd be a useless, shitty Pikmin. Just an absolute piece of shit. I never get thrown at anything. I never get whistled to recollect myself and just be off there and then some shrubbery, just doing doing Pikmin bullshit, picking my Pikmin ass. How about you?
I'd be a blue one.
Okay, that's nice too. That's great.
Jake S says, "What do you credit to the failure of the Wii U?" Just
Yeah.
everything.
Your fault somehow, Grubb. I don't
That's
know.
my fault.
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot of things. I think the name is the easiest thing to point at, and maybe the biggest problem. Very bad name. But even like when they first debuted it, they refused to show the console and just showed the tablet. Like I remember even watching it at E3, there were people there were covering it who were like convinced it was a peripheral. Like even like press, nobody understood what the heck the thing was. It did not, the immediate software wasn't fantastic. The tablet itself felt kind of cheap. The screen wasn't great. The range wasn't good. So that core gimmick is kind of whatever. Yeah, there's just a lot of things were going against the Wii U there. The funny thing is that they almost kind of figured out what was going on because the Switch really is just some of those core ideas taken to the sort of logical next step, and all of a sudden it comes together.
Right. It's like a Wii U that's not doing too much. It's doing just exactly what you want a Wii U to do, which is make it easy for me to play my games away from the TV. And yeah, I think the Wii U's problem is mostly just perception stuff. The name, it just got off to the wrong foot on everything, and that stuff piled up quick, and people decided, hey, it is easier to ignore this than figure out what is going on, and that just snowballed. And Nintendo paid the price.
This like big Nintendo launch game was New Super Mario Brothers U, and it's good.
Fucking Nintendo Land slander.
At a point where what's that?
Nintendo Land slander.
And Nintendo, you all acting like everyone loved Nintendo Land. I remember what people thought about Nintendo Land when it came out. I was there, Gandalf. But like everyone was kind of sick of the New Super Mario Bros. Stuff. Also, this was the first HD Nintendo console, so like maybe we wanted something a bit more than the 2D Mario game. And they kept trying to show stuff like, well, look, the player can use the tablet to tap and make platforms. It's like, okay, cute. Like so much of it was them trying to use that tablet for things like that, right? I remember like the first image of it, the person like golfing on their tablet and stuff like that.
Yes, totally.
And they still want you to use the Wiimotes a lot, right? A lot of things. Like the Wii stuff definitely already ran its course. I mean, it's kind of the problem Xbox have Xbox One, like just carrying that Kinect stuff on a little too long. Even with the Wii stuff being so much more popular, it was just a bit too long for that. That wasn't like a permanent thing. Turns out that was kind of a generational gimmick that we had already grown tired of.
And then the Wii U Pro Controller has the fucking buttons below the analog stick.
That's right.
Like
That's
a goddamn abomination
like a
from
Satanist.
hell.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. It is foul. I hate it. And I know people who like it, and they're foul.
Yeah,
and I don't like them anymore. They're wrong.
Yeah, they messed up.
Let's see. Ovaltine11 says, "How far do you?"
No, wait, Turbo Sean likes it. Sean.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Every time you open your mouth, you make me feel so much better about you not liking Super Metroid. Here he goes. I like Super Metroid. Yeah.
Ovaltine11 says, "How far do you expect changes and new content to go in Mario RPG Remake? I saw a suggestion to add armor appearance changes, and I would like that."
I don't know if I would actually. I think I just want Mario to look like Mario. Gino to look like Gino.
Yeah.
I don't know if I necessarily need that.
I don't need that either.
Yeah, I don't need much. Like, again, usually the Super Nintendo RPGs, the script wasn't very good, so I appreciate edits. I recall that script being fine, but I'm sure they're going through it, maybe polishing some stuff up here and there, getting rid of some inevitable, accidentally homophobic thing that I forgot about or what have you. But I don't know. I really don't need too much. That was it seems like in my memory that just all kind of worked pretty smoothly as a game. The difficulty curve, the way it sort of ramped up was really well done. Maybe it'd be nice, maybe I don't remember, if Gino had or Mallow had one more late game heal so that I felt less obligated to have Peach in my party no matter what. I would like it if having a Mario, Gino, Mallow party at the end was more viable. Maybe it is, and I was just a kid and felt like I have to have Peach. She's the healer. Because Mallow has early game heals, and from what I recall, they kind of fall off once you get Peach.
Yep, I think making sure the balance is right is kind of the stuff that I need. I don't... everything
That was
they've
a loosely translation. Sorry, Jeff.
No, it's okay. Everything they've shown so far has been like, oh my God, they're doing this right. It is just a better looking version of Super Mario RPG, and all of the animations are the same. Everything just looks exactly the camera angles are the same. The battles look right. Everything just looks right. And there was so much charm in the presentation of that Super Mario RPG that it looks like they are recapturing that. And that's actually the most important thing to me. I don't need any changes beyond that.
Yeah, Bryce Gilbert saying in chat that there was a Peach sex toy reference, and I think I kind of remember that. That will not be in there probably. So there you go.
Ideally,
it's
just
just a shame, actually. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, I mean, as long as Bowser can kiss Mario, still, I'll be fine.
Oh, I'm sure that'll be there. Don't worry. It's not like they replaced Booster with Wario or something stupid like that. So
that would be fucked up. That would be messed up. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be bad. That'd be evil.
Evil. That'd be foul. All right, that does it for the super chat so far, Mike. I'll read any more that anyone sends in before the end of this show, though.
All right, then. Well, that's going to do it for our first segment, everybody. We're going to take a little break. We're going to come back. We have a lot of questions from our community to get to. If you have any more questions you're watching live or anything else you want to say, we're still taking super chats. We'll read those until the end of the show. We'll be right back, everybody. All right, I'm going to get a drink real quick and stuff. I'll be right back.
Okay.
All right.
All right. All right. So, is it okay that I like the Wii U analog sticks? No.
Yes, because it's so much more comfortable.
It is insane because you can't use the stick and then press the buttons at the same time. You have to take your thumb off the stick to press the buttons. Like,
I do that in an AR controller.
No, you don't, because the way that the buttons are laid out, like if you look at like a Switch Pro controller, you can like roll your thumb up and like at least hit a couple of those buttons without having to fully take your thumb off the controller, off the stick.
How are you contorting your hand to make this work?
Like a grown man. What do you mean?
Wait, what?
Look,
you don't swap your thumb between the buttons and the analog stick?
I do when it's like a heated moment, of course, if I have to make sure I'm definitely getting it. But in a lot of situations, it's like I'm just popping it up like that, just really quick.
Get the chat back me up. This is weird. This is actually him being weird this time. I'm not in the wrong here. That's a weird fucking thing to do.
No, no, because if you're playing a first-person shooter, you want to be able to look and jump at the same time. So it's like it's micro movements. It's not like a whole. I'm definitely like taking it off for a second, but if it was up here, you have to move your whole thumb all the way down, and then you're so far away from the buttons, it's crazy. It's wrong. It's bad.
All the way up.
No, you don't. It's because my thumb is already hanging over the buttons.
Yeah, I did it like a couple times, maybe playing some games, but it's not a thing I do all the time.
Shut up, Christian. We're fighting.
Let the grown man yell at each other about video games in peace, goddammit.
Stick placement is very serious, Christian, and I feel like you're not taking it as seriously as you should.
My bad.
Do you know why people like back buns so much?
Because of this. This is exactly what it is.
Exactly.
Yes, totally. And it's why I like any controller at least has like one or two, so I can put the most important stuff on them. And
you think
jump and or reload on.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
You think the next generation of consoles are gonna come with controllers with back buttons in it?
I feel like at least one.
Probably.
Like one on each side,
That's
but then how can you sell $100 Elite controller if that's an automatic?
I have the PlayStation controller.
If they do that, and the Elite controller has like extra buttons in the back. Instead of having 4, it has like 6.
It has like 80.
Yeah. It'll be like
one button for each phalange of your.
I mean, when we get to the next gen, controllers are probably gonna be $100 anyways. Maybe they just converge into one.
When are we gonna choose to wear gloves, the tracks or movements? That's the future.
Let's go. You want to give all that data to the government, man? They can track my
they
track my knuckles.
Have all my data, so
that's fair. All right. So let me see here, Mike.
I'm not sure if anyone in chat is getting into a heated argument about something that doesn't matter. De-escalate and stop. Thank you.
Oh yeah, Mike's laying down the law. I'm not paying attention.
Show Mike. Tell Mike what you do with the controller.
Oh yeah, sure. So because the buttons are here, my thumb is already kind of hovering over there. I think it's quicker and more convenient a lot of times to just kind of do a quick pop up there instead of moving my whole thumb over there like this. I'm kind of hitting buttons with the side of my thumb so that I can get back to the stick quickly, especially in a first-person shooter. which is
That's
why
weird, right?
which is why I don't like it when the stick is down or up here on the Wii U Pro controller, because then I have to move my whole thumb.
I don't know. I don't do that. I don't think it's that weird. You're fine.
We're fighting, Mike.
You're
supposed to. You're supposed to
play it up
escalate.
for the content,
Yeah.
dude. Come
No,
on, what are
it's
you doing?
later
You're
now.
fucking gross, man, and weird. I think that's weird, and you're creeping me out, and I'm gonna just be out here.
I hate you, but thank you for doing that. I appreciate
go.
that. All right, Mike, you can bring this show back in whenever you're ready.
Okay. And we are back. Jeff, we haven't actually had a question segment here for quite a while. So I'm excited to see what the community wants to ask us about. Are you ready for this?
Yeah, I don't remember the last time we did one. I don't remember what we did last week, but I don't remember the last time we did a question episode either. So let's do it.
Yes. Jabba the Slut says, incredible, right? Incredible.
Good name.
Gosh. Jabba the Slut says, Dear Jeff, eating pies, eating sweet little pies. I get it. Grubb and Mike, come on and slam. And welcome to the can. Oh my God, Minotti. That's good. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. the Slut. Now that things are slowing down slightly, is there any chance of the Grubrudo podcast to return? If no, what mini anime watchcast is Mike going to start?
You know what? We'll set up maybe a goal or something, because we're like pretty close to 300 on Patreon, and if we get there, maybe I can bring it back. I've been watching 24 instead, but I know some people really want the anime to come back. So
that's pretty much Naruto.
Yeah, we're 11.
Go.
We're 11 away from 300. So if we get 300 patrons, I will 100% bring it back. I think we also do a Columbo podcast, but maybe it doesn't have to be a weekly one. Maybe we do a special.
Did we say we did that 300?
I think it was 300, but it was a 350. I can't remember.
I don't remember. We'll have to find out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. But we'll figure something. We'll figure out a venue for those sorts of things.
Bop to see Bop Teen says, Wolf to my Nintendogas. There we go. Like the Final Fantasy spell. I get
it.
In your opinion, what do you think the Kurok torture equivalent will be in Starfield? Yeah, what? Like Starfield is going to have a lot of systems. I don't know if you're going to interact with anything like how you do Korok seeds, or you have to fix that guy's sign or anything like that, right?
I don't know. I mean, Starfield seems like the whole Bethesda Game Studios engine seems rife for physics interactions. Why wouldn't they take advantage of that? And yet I think I probably agree with you that there won't be a lot of like strict designed gameplay mechanics that use many of those things. I don't know. I think the equivalent's going to be like building insane spaceships that are like, you know, so big that they crush entire towns or something like that. That'll be that the kind of thing you're doing.
Build my spaceship. So excited. Yeah, I saw you got the controller, by the way, too, because this,
I did. It's upstairs, but look at that
you
thing.
Got the headset.
I got the headset, yes, and it's very handsome.
Really a freak.
Yep, I'm a freak, and I'm proud of it. It looks really cool. I'll go grab it here after the next break.
Great. Well, you don't have to do that. I do have mine. People know what it looks like.
My headset. I kind of just want it now. I'm just kind of missing it, actually.
Velocity Prime says, my dearest dogs, in your many adventures in Tears of the Kingdom, which region or location has been your favorite to explore? I'm a big fan of Akala in the northeast, beautiful fall colors in the cozy Terrytown, in stark contrast to the deadly mountains nearby. Did I say Yeah, thank you, Jeff.
Yep, no problem. I get it.
Monsters.
It's a hell of a Tuesday.
Plantain. Okay. I haven't really thought about this. Like, I actually kind of like the snowy area. I think that's actually where I spent the most time, even though there's not really that much there. It's mostly just mountains. But I spent a lot of time in that northwest area for some reason. It was like kind of my go-to when I was like, I need to find like more monster parts. I got to look for some bosses or what have you. So, but what about you? Do you have like a favorite area?
I don't know. I like the jungly, beachy area, that whole region in the southeast. Especially when it gets really rainy, and I like getting out of the jungle area and it's still very rainy, and you're just kind of honestly any of the stables when it's raining is my favorite. Just hanging out there. Everyone's like, damn it, it's raining. They go inside and they're all hanging out together, and there's a fire, and people are just under whatever pavilion they can find. That's the atmosphere that I prefer the most.
All right. Next one I have here is from Breadfish. who says, "What up, dogs? Big congrats on the couch streams this past weekend." Oh, these go back a bit. Just past weekend. These are going from June. Oh, we never made a new thread. Oh, thank you so much, Sean. No wonder. How many of these are there going to be? Okay, big congrats on the couch streams this past weekend. Big shoes to fill, and you will crush it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Of Philly spent his comments. It sounds like Xbox is gearing up for a long fight with Sony over the PC market. Do you think Nintendo will ever dip their toe into the arena? And if so, which title do you think would be the least weird to see on PC? I mean, Mario Maker on PC sure would be pretty cool. All right, like that'd be fun. That'd be easy. That'd be neat. But yeah, seeing a Mario game would be slightly weird. I don't know. There's something that you would think is more. I mean, Splatoon on PC would also make a lot of sense, right?
Yeah, I would like a lot of that stuff on PC. Sure, I think about that every once in a while. I'm like, hey, well, would it hurt if Nintendo games were on PC? No, that'd be very cool. I'd play a lot of those, but something like Splatoon, of course, that'd be cool.
Let's see. I mean, do you think Nintendo actually ever will, though? Like, no, obviously, right?
No.
Daniel says, "Dear Jeff, pausing the Cammy windscreen Grubb and Mike Sweetie's feeties Minotti. People love to ask about who you main in Street Fighter or who your faves are. I want to know who you hate. Design-wise, matchup-wise, doesn't matter. Who pisses you off more than any other character? P.S. Incredible work at Summer Game Fest. It was a genuine blast to watch / listen to. Thank you very much. I do not like fighting against JP. The design is fine, but it's getting a little bit better. Getting a little bit more used to him. He's a zoner, Jeff. So he just kind of shoots shit all over the place. And like the whole game is figuring out how to even get close to him. And then once you do, you can probably damage him a lot. But even then, he actually has some decent buttons. And he has like a move that just knocks you back across the screen. Like JP is the one I will not rematch a lot of the time.
Yeah, JP, from what I've played, JP's been tough. I agree. In terms of design, that's tough because everyone looks so good.
Yeah, a lot of people do just look good.
I think I don't like Guile's face.
What?
I don't know. Something about,
he's got a zaddy face.
I think I don't know. I think he looks weird. Let me
That's
think.
wrong.
That's the face of
Street
America, you
Fighter.
piece of shit.
You're just intimidated.
I think that's part of it. Yeah, I think I'm intimidated a little bit. He looks like Vanilla Ice.
What's wrong with that?
Okay, you're right. You know what? When you put it like that, you're right. When you're right, you're right.
Jedi Moss says, "Good evening, Nintendogs. We hear a lot from CEOs Phil Spencer, Jim Ryan, but rarely, if ever, from Nintendo President Furukawa. He's by far the most private CEO from Nintendo. It doesn't make public appearances outside of investor calls and reports. What do we think of his 10 years so far at Nintendo? Is he making decisions on his own, or has he largely passed the decisions off to other people in the company?" Yeah, I mean, and I'm fine with it. I don't think anybody wanted to see him try to be the next Iwata. That would have been, I think, distasteful to a lot of people. And, maybe it's just not his strong suit anyways. It's fine for him to just kind of work from the shadows, as it were. I mean, we did hear about him recently. He talks to investors, at least he does that.
He talks to people who spent $3,500 about the cold treatment of Splatoon boys.
What?
Do you not hear about this?
No.
A guy spent $3,500 on Nintendo stock so that he could go to the meeting, and then he ranted for a very long time about the cold treatment of Splatoon boys.
I did hear about this now. That's right.
He didn't. Apparently, there's not enough cosmetic items for Splatoon boys. So,
I thought everybody wore the same shit in Splatoon.
I don't know. I thought so too. You're right. I have no idea.
What was he talking about? Okay.
You can go ask him. I'm sure he'll tell you. I'm sure he'll be happy to explain the problem.
Benji Klasky asks, "Where's the proof that Jeff shit his pants during the direct? Where's the poopy shorts? Yeah, where's the brown stains?"
Yeah, I'll get it. Just a second. Oh,
okay, go get them.
No, I got a picture of it, of course.
Picture. Okay, thank you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no problem. Right. You're gonna have to go move on. It's gonna take me a second.
Yeah, I know it's in your darkest hard drive folders. Jamie says, "Been waiting for a Q&A week to bring this up, and in honor of Token Miyamoto, I'd like to share the name I gave my creative character, and I encourage others to do the same. Mine is Hardigan Dalcassian, works for a wide range of genres from Final Fantasy 14 to medieval to sci-fi. Hardigan being my surname, and Dalcassian comes from an ancient Irish clan that my ancestors were part of, who fought alongside Brian Boru, the High King of Ireland. In the 10th century, I've attached an artist's impression Not quite Robomich, but when I can, I try to get my in-game character's armor to match this. Well, that's pretty interesting. That's a lot more thoughtful and based on real things than my Token Miyamoto shit is. So, yeah, there you go. Cyber Res says, "Dear Jeff, Friday Pizza Grubb, and Mike Margarita Minotti, can you please tell all them godless heathens that Silk Song is dead?" Silk Song's not dead.
Silk Song is dead.
No, that game's coming out.
It'll
it's
never
weird.
come out. Your
There's something
parents never loved you.
There's something especially weird about
There's
Silk
my
Song
shitty
taking
underwear.
such a long time.
There you go.
What's that?
I'm showing everybody my shitty underwear. There you go.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
Good.
no problem. Yeah. What?
Is this a real thing?
That's a real thing. Yes. It's,
Where do they display? Is that at? Where do they display that at?
oh, that's a private collector.
Elvis's skid marks.
Elvis's skid marks. Yes, it's sold for
For
like
the
100.
audio listeners, explain. Yeah, you do this for the audio listeners.
I
Explain
don't know.
what you
See
just
what the
showed.
problem is. It's a picture of framed Elvis Presley dirty underwear with skid marks and maybe some other stuff happening in there. And it's in a frame and it just says Elvis Presley. Mike, apparently this just sold for like $150,000.
Well, I mean, if you ever want to clone Elvis Presley, right? Like, there's
Yeah, you're
the
gonna
DNA.
need his dirty underwear. I mean,
Yeah, there you go.
clearly.
And now I'm going to this. Dr. Suss says, "Hey, sheep fuckers, should we give more shit to the Pokemon Company for not transitioning from handheld to console? Well, since the every other division that worked on handheld games inside Nintendo did just fine. Me and Jeff try to give them shit, and we get yelled at sometimes. Like, people get mad at us. We'll get mean comments on YouTube. Like, there was even during the Nintendo Direct, because it opened with Scarlet and Violet, and I was giving Scarlet and Violet shit. There are people in the comments like, how do these two not get it? It's like, yeah, I could give them shit, but they're gonna get away with it. I don't think it
Oh
matters.
yeah, they always get away with
Unfortunately.
it. Yes.
Gulator says, "Dear Mike, I keep my entire net worth of $520 on me at all times, Minotti. And Jeff, I keep my entire net worth of 50,000 sheets points on me at all times, Grubb. Well, we all like to dunk on Mike for the whole Tokoto thing. When is Jeff going to explain the origins of his lame ass Jeff Grubb nickname? Yeah, where did you come up with something so stupid, Jeff?
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to look like normal human man. And I was like, let's just pick these two words out of a hat here that are just the most normal sounding names. And then I got stuck with Jeff Grubb instead, and that's not normal at all. It's just kind of wormy.
Bud Sack says, "Hi, Miyamoto puppies. This question is for Mike. In Tears of the Kingdom, did you collect apples and feed them to Link? Obviously, later in the game, they're less valuable, but early on, I needed them. Does your hate for apples extend to your Hylian avatar, or are you cool with cooking some simmered fruit for him? P.S. Those golden apples. Kick ass." No, I'm not. Look, I'm going to do what's optimal in a video game, all right? Those are digital apples. They can't hurt me. I don't like them, but I'll use them. I mean, there's a lot of games
Don't
you
even
just have to
trust
use
them.
the apples.
But
Like in the Genesis Aladdin game, like apples are your projectile, right? Like, what am I gonna do? Not use them? I have to man up, I guess. Mr. Boer says, "What's up, Jeff? Numbered console generations is a social construct, Grubb, and Mike buttery, flaky feet Minotti." There's been a lot of talk of about the greatest years of video games lately, and I want to give some consideration to 2003. In that year, we got the Western release of Wind Waker, KOTOR, Soul Calibur 2, Prince of Persia: Sands of Time, Mario Luigi Superstar Saga, F-Zero GX, the first WarioWare game, the first Fire Emblem released in the West, and Base Street Volume 2, and RoboCop for Xbox. And that's just the name of a few. Given that, how do you feel 2003 ranks among greatest years for video games? I mean, that looks really good, but like that almost seems like there should be that many good games in any given year, right?
yeah, I like.
And a lot of these aren't seminal necessarily. Like KOTOR is seminal. A lot of these other ones aren't. Sands of Time, maybe you can argue. When I don't know. That's not like
Superstar Saga.
yeah, I know you, but like, it's not like, oh, hey, look, Ocarina of Time, Metal Gear Solid, and Half-Life came out, right?
This is like a really good year for me, but I think it's not it's not a best year ever. Like, this is like, if this was a normal year, I would be very happy. And we get a lot of years that aren't this good, for sure.
Yes,
but,
absolutely.
But
No complaints with that year.
but this doesn't stack up to this year, even, right?
No, not even already.
Yeah, already, and we are still going to get Alan Wake 2 and Super Mario Brothers Wonder and a bunch of other stuff. We'll get a new WarioWare.
Starfield.
Starfield.
Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, Spider-Man 2. Yeah. So
and gosh, it's gonna be ridiculous.
And that like just that list of like what's coming out in the second half is already kind of matching this.
It's weird thinking about like the earliest like game I think of this year was Fire Emblem Engage, which feels like a century ago. That's a 2023 game. Hey, Chaos Buckaroo says, "Howdy, Jeff, Graham, Norton, Grubb, and Mike. Fuck Ubisoft. I'm out of here, Minotti." With the news that Persona 3 Reload isn't including anything from FES, what is the most confusing remake mistake you all have seen? I still gnash my teeth over Pokemon Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl not being based on the unquestionably superior Platinum. Yeah, that's interesting. This is a very good question, and I'm trying to kind of recommend. I thought it was weird that like with Twin Snakes, they got all the voice actors back and re-record everybody's lines just to kind of get rid of people's accents because they didn't want to do that going forward. It almost seems like a bit much. Wasn't a giant deal, I guess, but I don't know. I'm trying what are the bad remakes even? I'm trying to think. Like what are like the ones nobody likes?
I mean, Link's Awakening DX is pretty bad.
Oh, shut up. Stupid Pete, you stupid piece of shit.
You fucking whore.
But if you can hear, I mean, there's that like there's that Double Dragon 2 that's like supposed to be absolutely awful, but that's just like bad, right? And it's a really good question. I don't have a great answer for. Right,
there's definitely good example. I think the Twin Snakes is one that I think is pretty weird. That's the one I would have pointed out.
I guess the very existence of those, those Mario and Luigi
3DS remakes. Yes, that's a good one.
Just the existence of like we're going to replace the pixel art with 3D models that don't look bad, but don't look better. It's just a lot of effort.
Don't look nearly as good. I mean, I guess even the Advance Wars remake, which is really fun to play, and I still really enjoy it. I'm glad it's here. I'm like, I did that quick look with Dan. I'm like, Dan, maybe if you're into this, maybe just go play the thing on your Analog Pocket. And he went and played it on his Analog Pocket. It had just as much fun, if not more fun. So, yeah.
Thank you, Christian. So Christian brought up the fonts in the Font Fantasy collection. But to be clear, those mobile ports where they replaced the original gorgeous pixel art with just much, much worse 2D art that didn't even like connect together correctly with the tiles. And the side views of the character were like all like directly from the side, and every character had like a pot belly, and it was all like fuzzy and Vaseline-y. So they just like took good-looking games and made them look 1,000 times worse on purpose. That was the worst. Also, when they ported Symphony of the Night to Xbox and they re-recorded the dialogue, like no. We like that cheesy dialogue. No one actually like complains about the voice acting. It's that we make fun of it because it's funny. So although actually, I think for a while I had that version of the Dracula intro memorized too. It's not bad. What do you say? Instead of saying what is a man? A miserable pile of secrets. He says, mankind, nothing but lies and deceit. Fight for them then and die for their sins. I'm like, that's not bad either, Drac. That's not bad.
You got both versions memorized?
I did. I don't know if I have the whole last one memorized, but I used to I had a video that like played both of them. I don't know why I find it so captivating. It's just something about that confrontation at the beginning of the game. And it's cool boss like Symphony of the Night. Very good video game.
Oh yeah. And it sets things up really cool. It just gets started. It's cool.
Yeah. That's so weird that I actually can't play that on a Switch, by the way.
Yeah, it's messed up. It's an oversight and someone should fix it.
Yep. Always B Corgi says, yo, Jeff, I'm still furious at you for your announcement prank Grubb and Mike, not sweaty, just flaky Minotti, with the recent announcement of Super Mario RPG Remake. What game remake would make your Direct of Dreams wish come true? Man, yeah, Mario RPG would have been pretty high up there. Let's assume Nintendo, by the way. I mean, gosh, Nintendo has remade like your two favorite Nintendo games now.
Yeah, I'm kind of pretty good over here. Like Link's Awakening and Super Mario RPG. Oh my God, like they are just trying to appeal to me, and I'm very thankful.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the F-Zero GX remake rumors are great. I hope that happens. I love it. They remade Star Tropics, and that's a game where there should be some editing. Like the difficulty curve at the end is just silly in that game. Actually, there's a lot you can do to make that better. But there's always been 1,000-Year Doors rumor too.
Yeah,
and I would
really like that. That'd be very cool. Yes.
Yeah, that'd be good. Keywork says, howdy, beef and cheddar homies. What portions of Nintendo EPD are due for one last game on the Switch before its successor is hopefully released? We are all well aware the team behind Mario Odyssey's due, but what about the others? I doubt Sora Limited and Sakurai have truly been on a break. Yeah, I guess that is interesting. What have they been up to, especially since DLC for Smash has stopped? In in a cynical world these days, you'd have to imagine we'll start making the new Smash. The next Smash is such an interesting problem, Jeff.
Right.
Well, what do you do now?
What's a reboot? Kirby has remade the universe, and he's a fire god, and yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Mortal Kombat did have its game Armageddon, where it was everybody's here. Like that was the gimmick, Mortal Kombat Armageddon, and then they did do the reboot and kind of had like a smaller but more like focused cast. But like Armageddon had a lot of other problems, like because they had so many characters, they didn't even have like bespoke fatalities. You just kind of made your own fatality, so every character did the same stuff basically. Yeah, I don't know. I think people are just I think if you go back to not having everybody there again, people are going to be upset. So what do you do? It is to the point where I'm like, actually, just port Ultimate and let's add some more characters, like Gino, of course. That's basically all I really need now. Maybe like do a subspace emissary mode again. There's things you can do. I don't actually need you to make another new model for Mario. I don't need like if you want to like make it be a different Zelda again, right? Or like you want to give Link his haircut from Tears of the Kingdom, fine. I almost don't think you need to put all that work into a new Smash Bros. Now. You kind of have it figured out for at least another generation.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those games that they can't not make because it sells so well. So
excuse me, sorry, almost choked on my green tea there. Drowned on it, actually. I think it sounded like a Sonic drowning.
Yeah,
but right, there's got to be a Smash on each system.
Yes,
it's one of the best selling games.
So it's like, yeah, you're right. It's going to be interesting to see how they solve that problem, but we'll get there.
Absolutely. Okay, next one here is from Keywork. It says, howdy, beef and cheddar homies. What portions of Nintendo EPD? Oh, that's the one I just read. Next one here is from Screaming Madden. Hey there, Jeff. I get turned on spilling Tim Getty's coffee. Grubb.
I do.
And Mike. Get out of here, jury. I'm the new feet hotness Minotti. Yesterday, I beat Tears of the Kingdom, and it's easily my front runner for my personal game of the year right now. Funny enough, one thing that Tears of the Kingdom inspired me to do is that I've cooked the dishes based on what Link cooks in the game, such as mushroom risotto and honey crepes. The game's food ever inspired you to cook that dish in real life? No, but I watch a lot of like food YouTube, and usually that's what's gonna like inspire me and make me want to cook food. Really, I don't know if I saw. I mean, like, and all the stuff I think looks good in Tears of the Kingdom or looks the most good is stuff I do make, like curry or like salted steak or like mushroom risotto. Actually, mushroom risotto is fantastic.
I definitely.
How about you, Jeff?
I definitely do get the urge to make some of that stuff. I haven't made anything from Zelda, Breath of the Wild, or Tears of the Kingdom, but I do remember watching Cowboy Bebop and the episode where they're starving and they want bell peppers and beef, and all they have is bell peppers, and that became a big hit in my house, and we sing a song about it, and we just sing bell peppers and beef and.
Oh my God! Did you watch Parks and Rec? There's that scene where Leslie Knope goes to like the one guy's house and they're like eating breakfast, and like it's the guy at work they always make fun of, but he has like the most beautiful like family, and they're literally like eating breakfast, and they sing a song about pancakes or something, and it's like the most idyllic thing. And Leslie's just looking at them like, "What? That's you?"
Yeah, because I get made fun of at work, and I have a beautiful family. Yes, that's
incredible. Incredible. Ed says, congratulations on a great weekend, gents. Really enjoyed the coverage, and it helped make it feel like a proper E3 again. Thank you, Ed.
Thank you.
Chat Bink says, good evening to my Nintendogs. As of this episode, I now have a real estate license and can now buy and sell houses for people. Which Nintendo character would you want to buy a house or property from? Daisy. How about you, Jeff?
Which Nintendo character would you want to buy a house or property from? I mean, I guess I want to see what Waluigi's house would look like and buy it and live in it.
Waluigi, no. I know Waluigi's your answer a lot. You do not want to buy a house from
okay,
Waluigi.
I want to tour it. I want to go to the open house. That's exactly right. I want to go to the open house.
You live like this kind of thing.
Yes, exactly. Or the Rusty's Real Deal baseball house. There we go.
I mean, I've never felt more called out than I just did from Sean's comment. Next one is from Haas, who says, hey, dog, since the Switch launched in 2017, we have got a new version every 2 years with the Lite in 2019 and OLED in 2021. what are the chances we get a significant iteration in late 2023? I would take another OLED without the detachable Joy-Cons. The light feels so good in comparison. No way. I don't think we get a major iteration. I think it's full steam ahead now on the next Switch. Like you might get like a Nintendo Wonder like themed Switch OLED or something, but you're not getting a redesign or anything.
I think that there is a small chance that they do a Game Boy Micro style thing here at the end of the generation, but it's really small. I think if they were going to do a Switch Lite, they probably would have done it by now. Or Switch Lite OLED, excuse me. Because it's kind of too late to do that. The Switch Lite already sells like the worst of all the three variations that they have. Bifurcating that one more time with an OLED version, does that really make sense? Do they sell it for more? So does that mean they keep all now they have 4 devices on the market? I don't know. I don't think so. So probably not, but there's still a very small chance because Nintendo.
Isaac Clark says, hello, Jeff. Why isn't Tommy Tallarico on the Giant Bomb couch? Grubb and Mike, you inhale your dad's feet. Naughty. In my free time, I like to research my family's genealogy, and I've managed to uncover some interesting and fun stories about my forefathers. Have either of you fellas delved into your family's history or have any interesting stories about an ancestor of the show? And Jeff, you did awesome over on Giant Bomb this week.
Thank you, Isaac.
Yeah, I mean, I always feel bad with this because, like, I always only look at like my paternal line. For some reason, I only it's easier just to trace back Minotti's, right? Even though, there's all these different splits that are just as much DNA being thrown into the pool, right? But it's easier to me to go who's my father's father kind of a thing.
Please don't throw DNA into the pool. You'll get kicked out.
Yeah. My father's father was Italian, but was actually adopted in Italy. So it was kind of it's hard to track that stuff. So my line, as far as I can really research, ends there. Although at least one story I was told is that my grandfather's parents were a wealthy French noble or something. I don't know if they had nobles then still, but some wealthy French aristocrat and a Italian opera singer who was very young, so it was a scandal, and that's why he was put up for adoption. So that's where I got these amazing pipes from, Jeff's from my great grandmother, the famous Italian opera singer with the scandalous early pregnancy.
Wow, that explains a lot. I tried to do that genealogy.com or whatever it was, heritage.com once, and I got to 1 or 2 generations back, and I got it wrong, and I couldn't figure out who the right person was, and I gave up. So no, I don't do this. I would like to, though.
Christian thinks it's very funny that I am a bit French. I am a bit French. Although, again, this is the story, but my dad did one of those tests, and there was surprisingly little French in there, so then we weren't sure what to make of it. But that, like I said, that's the story, and it's a good story. And isn't that what they say at the end of Game of Thrones, right? That's what's important. Who has the better story? I didn't see that show, but I heard it as part of people's complaints. So, next one here is from Grubb. Says, Buenos dias. Right. I've updated this question multiple times, attempting to keep it relevant. That's gone poorly. Yeah, I know I complained about these questions being old. A lot of people have gone in and edited them.
Yeah, good job, everybody.
You're all very good. What 2 characters from the Sonic Menagerie would you cast as replacements for Richard Pryor and Gene Wilder if you were remaking their string of comedy team-ups? Definitely just Big the Cat and Rouge the Bat, right?
Big the Cat was definitely going to be my go-to. I was going to say Big the Cat, maybe Knuckles, because I think you want to have a straight man a little bit. But I guess Richard Pryor and Gene Wilder, there is no straight man there. So
you can just have a straight man with boobs.
All right, so then Rouge the Bat.
Thank you.
Damn, boy, were you just frying chicken in there?
Thanks, Rouge. Beach Hammer says, it seems like people are fully prepared for Metroid Prime 4 to release with the next Nintendo console. Is Jeff ready to call Metroid Prime 4 the first 10th generation game?
Son of a bitch, Beef Hammer.
Also, well, it'll be a 9th generation game. Maybe.
Yeah, right?
Also, Mike, I am available to be your helmsman for the Monkey Island adventure in Sea of Thieves. That's right. That's not very far out. That Monkey Island stuff for Sea of Thieves, huh?
Yeah, it's coming out soon.
That's right. Well, I'll be definitely doing it with my brothers, and I'm going to try to get you to play. How many people can you team up with in Sea of Thieves? I don't even know.
You have 4 on a crew, but you can have other people on the server.
On a cruise. Next one here is from... Oh, yeah. Are you ready to call Metroid Prime 4 the first 10th generation game, Jeff? I mean, okay, serious question, though. You've been maybe it's coming out for the Switch. You thought maybe there's a small chance it showed up at the Direct. You think it's going to be a cross-gen game. It sure seems to me like that's just going to be a Switch 2 game now. I don't know how you're feeling about Metroid Prime 4.
As we get like away from that
Did I say
direct,
Metroid Prime 2, sorry, 4.
Metroid Prime 4 is the kind of thing where it's like maybe they are being quiet about it so that when they do talk about it and explain it is next gen only, they could be like, well, that's one of the reasons we haven't talked about it for so long. So we couldn't make it work or something. I guess so. I still think Nintendo likes to do the cross gen. Also, cross gen will give it the best chance to actually sell. So I still think I still think it'll be cross gen, but I won't be surprised if it's not.
I hope it's not cross-gen so that we have an excuse when it, like, once again, doesn't sell more than,
good.
a few million
Good. We could,
copies.
like, get mad at Nintendo about it instead. Sure, okay.
Yeah. Well, you just say, well, of course it didn't sell, like, 5 million. And, the new
Yeah,
system. It's fine.
It's impossible to get one of those things. I mean, what are we supposed to do?
Exactly. What are you going to do? Let's see here now. And then Laser Wolf says, hello, Jeff. I massaged myself in empty malls, Grubb, and Mike, I inhaled my dad's sweet Minotti. What was the best game you played or saw hands-on at Summer Game Fest that will be on Switch? Well, that will be on Switch. I think we would both say that Prince of Persia game. Right, Jeff?
That is what we would both
Metroidvania.
say because it's actually just the truth. Like
It feels great.
it actually just is the best game that we played there, honestly, probably.
Speaking of Metroid.
Yep.
Yeah, honestly, that game was such a fun demo. I played through it twice. Like, first I just played it on whatever PC or like Xbox or something, and then they had the Switch versions. Like, also like I got to the side.
On some
I played
couches,
the whole
yeah.
demo on that, and it runs just as well. Like, still 60 FPS, buttery smooth. Like, I'm just going to play it on there. I guess like my runner-up would be Disney Illusion Island, which also 2D Metroidvania, but very different flavor. I think that is going to be a lot of fun. Let's hear now. A Bugadillo says, wait, did I miss? Wait, no, never mind. I almost skipped a bunch again for no reason. Lossian says, hello, gents. Jeff, the American Jordan Millard, Grubb, and Mike, B tier to AJ's A tier Minotti. Wow. Would you push your gran down a flight of stairs for the exclusive rights to review Starfield 3 months early? Ha! All my grans are dead, so I don't have to answer this question. How about you, Jeff?
Would you push a dead grandma down the steps?
Oh, sure. That'd be kind of, they'd like that.
Yeah, sure.
They'd
Get out
find that
there and do
respectful.
something. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, there's a while where I've been in this long enough where it's still cool to be able to review a game early or play a game early. But especially this year, where like I haven't even been able to start Final Fantasy 16 yet, and I'm a Final Fantasy guy. Like, man, how am I possibly going to like play Starfield right now if I had it like 3 months early? Just absolutely no way.
Just beat all the games before then. Pretty simple.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
I would not. Because that's one where, okay, so I'm going to review it early and 3 months early and be the only review out there. What if I don't like it very much? That's 3 months of people just hating your guts, knowing that you don't really know how to play video games and they're just going to tell you about it nonstop. Nothing. I don't need that shit.
No, it was like, it was fun playing, like I did do the review of Final Fantasy 15. That's fun. It is fun sometimes to be ahead of the zeitgeist, but like Tears of the Kingdom, I'm kind of glad I played it with everybody and didn't review it, so I could just like talk to people about what they're doing and all that stuff. So yeah, doesn't bother me. I would not push a grandmother downstairs. Shoji Koto says, "Hey there, Mike, Sexamo, Dynamo, Minotti, and Jeff, yerba mate, Yaba. What's that thing called?
Sherva Monte.
Sherva mate.
Sherva Monte.
YERBA, Sherba. Okay. Grubb, that loved all your coverage and content over Summer Game Fest. Hope you guys got some well-needed rest afterwards. While it's not Nintendo related, I wanted to hear Mike's thoughts on the reveal of the Legend of Monkey Island for Sea of Thieves. Also, just a reminder, you don't have to only settle for bargain big pirates like Beefhammer. If you're additionally looking for a true pirate legend, I'd like to be happy to act as your quartermaster for the Tall Tale. If maybe we'll do some community pirating here.
That'd be fun.
I'm stoked. Yeah, I'm really excited about it. I love Monkey Island. Like, even more so than Pirates of the Caribbean. This is my favorite pirate franchise. Throwing that into Sea of Thieves is like the number one thing you could do to make me care about Sea of Thieves. Yeah. So let's go.
And it's got, the voice actor in there. And he's like just
Dominic Armato.
Yeah, he's making references and it's very cool.
Bugadillo, for real this time, says, howdy, Jeff Woodchip, Drinker Grubb, and Mike Huffing Foot Dust Minotti. Everyone always talks about remakes, remake this, remake that, yada yada. What I'm interested in is demakes, taking modern games and reimagining them as games of generations past. What modern Nintendo game would you like to see a demake of? Remember the Ocarina of Time fan demake for a while? That I think they made a lot of progress on that, and then it got shut
I
down.
don't remember that. I'll look it up though.
Just basically made it look like Link to the Past, that kind of a thing. I bet I would like Fire Emblem Engage more if it looked like the Game Boy Advance Fire Emblem games. There's one for you.
Did you not get over the look of Fire Emblem Engage when you were playing it? Like you thought
over it.
Okay.
I got over it for
but
sure.
You just didn't fall in love with it?
I still thought that, I definitely did fall in love with it. I thought a lot of the character designs were very, again, garish, a little too bright, and just like too many elements. Like, here's this one character, her design's good, but also, surprise, star face tattoo. It's like, okay. So a lot of just a bit much here and there. But also, I just actually really like the Game Boy Advance like sprite animations for Fire Emblem. They look really good. Although the battle animations did look really good and Engage actually. So I don't know. I mean, there's not too many things I like would need. I mean, hey, how about this? How about Scarlet and Violet? I wish that just looked like Pokemon Black and White. That's what I want to demake up. It would just be better.
That's a very good answer. There you go. I would take a Super FX2 chip demake of Splatoon. Just
there you go.
Yeah, have a shooter on the Super FX chip.
If you were mad, I'm coming at you, Naka. Look, I like you, Naka. Your star tattoo looks stupid. I don't like face tattoos. Look, you can all come at me. Sorry, Clive. Sorry, Mr. Ben Starr. But don't know. About
Is that why you haven't started Final Fantasy 16 because of the face tattoo?
Yeah, just disgust. I can't get over it. Juan Gift says you can only play Nintendo or Capcom games for the rest of your life. Which do you choose? I've never really enjoyed Nintendo's first party games, so it's an easy choice for me. Resident Evil, DMC, Phoenix Wright, Ghouls and Ghosts, Onimusha, Street Fighter, Breath of Fire, Mega Man, Monster Hunter, Marvel's Capcom, Dragon's Dogma. Hard to think of a company with such a breadth of great series. Nintendo, on the other hand, has mostly stuck to the tried and tested favorites such as Zelda, Mario, etc. Okay. So first, I think it's obviously Capcom. If you start thinking about since Konami left the game, took its very long break, right? What if it was just 16-bit, and then the next two generations after that, even 8-bit. Let's say it was NES through GameCube. Whose library do you like more, Konami's or Capcom's?
Oh man,
then it's rough. I mean, to be clear, those are the two best third parties. Like Square Enix, if you really like JRPGs like I do, would also really matter. But Konami, Capcom, those were the best.
God, I think I go with Konami. Let me double check here. Let's do a poll in chat if somebody can set that up. We're not going to explain it there, but again, obviously it's going to be Capcom if you think about all the recent stuff. But I'm talking NES through GameCube era stuff, right? Yeah, I would miss
because obviously both of them had stumbles in the 360 generation, and Konami just went away for a while.
Contra and Castlevania and
Metal Gear.
Metal Gear, yeah. Tiny Toons Adventures.
It's still probably Capcom for me.
Capcom's really close there.
Especially
maybe if I think about maybe Capcom actually. I don't know. It's tough.
I'm gonna miss Castlevania and Metal Gear a lot. I like those franchise specifically a ton. And hey, Rocket Knight Adventure also. It's tough. They're the best. But I'm such a Mega Man guy, obviously, and then just Street Fighter. I'm liking Resident Evil more than I ever did. Also, so it's too hard. Yeah, Konami does also have all the good music games. Konami didn't hit their stride until PlayStation 2 era, in my opinion. Says Uncharted Wolf. I mean, 16-bit Mega Man X, Street Fighter 2. They had a lot of good stuff in 16-bit era. Also, but so did Konami. They basically didn't make very many bad games, those two. So interesting. All right, we'll let that poll cook for a little bit.
It's up there now.
Okay. Next one here is from Jump Matt. It says, "Hey guys, what do your work days look like while you're not on camera?" Well, I work at GamesBeat. I've been having a lot more meetings lately, a lot more not fires to put up, but a lot more urgent tasks these days. So I'm sitting here. I have the Slack open, which is where we do all the work communication. I edit other people's stories. I have to run social at the moment too. Sometimes newsletter. So kind of things here and there. So I'm basically sort of glued to this chair from 10 till about 5:30 or 6, doing that stuff, taking a break for lunch. So that's kind of my work. And then occasionally jumping into the Giant Bomb stuff to scream about burning rangers and things like that. How about you, Jeff?
Yeah, it's a lot of it is trying to get things organized, get people into the same mindset of like, okay, we're all going to be doing this thing later this week. Is everyone ready? Does everyone have everything like good there? Who can be on this thing? Okay, everyone's busy. Who can I get to be on that thing? A lot of emails talking to publishers, getting codes, stuff like that, making sure that we're on top of all that stuff, setting up events that are coming down the line. And then, yeah, like Mike said, just kind of being in Slack a lot and seeing what people are talking about, making sure that we're on top of any fires that pop up.
We don't Slack, but we're in Slack quite a bit.
Exactly. It's a lot of it's just like trying to push the rock up the hill. Like, it is very easy with like stuff that we have on the calendar every week to be like, okay, we're doing this and this and this. It's like, okay, now we have to like get some motivation going for anything else. And it's just like, okay, well, that means that you need to be available at this time. Is everyone actually going to be available? No. And then that's a complicated thing. And so it's a lot of it's just herding cats. It's really what it is.
Sephiroth says, I wonder if we might see the next Fire Emblem announced soon, such as the rumored Fire Emblem 4 remake. Again, to me, it seems like Engage just happened, but we get a lot of Fire Emblem games. I still think it's a little bit further away. Maybe even like in like a year one Switch 2 kind of thing, or like a very late Switch 1 thing, cross-gen.
Early next year is what I think.
Yeah,
but yeah.
It definitely makes sense for that to be early next year. That seems early to me, but maybe.
International Superstar Soccer from Konami. Like, there's so many good games. Sorry, I'm just
all the stars are here. Clank says, hello, Jeff, Jimmy Grubb, and Mike Bimmy Minotti. How dare you make me the Bimmy. Do you think the Switch gets one more Mario Party, or are they saving it for the launch of the next console? No, I mean, the two are already both sell really well anyways. Yeah. It's not like GameCube where you can get away with releasing, 4 of them they had on GameCube, which is insane. No, just wait. I hope it is like Super Mario Superstars or Mario Party Superstars 2 with just that concept again, like bring back more old boards and stuff. I like that one a lot. I hope that's what we're getting.
Yeah.
Tink says, sup, y'all. Would you rather have an HD 2D remake or any kind of remake of Final Fantasy 6 or Chrono Trigger? This was originally about Mario RPG. That's funny. Chrono Trigger, I haven't gotten to the pixel remaster of Final Fantasy 6 yet, but I've been very happy with 1, 2, or 3. So I think the pixel remaster of Final Fantasy 6 will be good enough for me for a bit. And honestly, I'd almost rather see them do something even more ambitious for Final Fantasy 6. Like, why not try to make a 3D Final Fantasy 6 remake? Why not? Let's see what that looks like. We'll always have the original. Go for that. Chrono Trigger, I almost don't really ever want to see 3D, at least right now. I think HD 2D makes the most sense for Chrono Trigger. Chrono Trigger is already like practically so perfect. You don't need to do too much to it. But if you want to basically add more pixel shading effects to it, pixel lighting effects to it, sure.
Yep, I fully agree. I think Chrono Trigger could look really cool with HD 2D.
Right, if you have that basically look like Live Alive, it's gonna be good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sasquatch Zing says, gentlemen, is physical versus digital the subs versus dubs of the gaming world?
A little bit, yeah. It's a Sasquatch crossing, right? Because the X is a cross.
That makes a lot more sense. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Subs versus dubs is like, at the end of the day, it's like you're just gonna go with what you prefer, and that's physical and digital as well. So yes, it is. It's exactly that argument. I
guess nobody in the subs versus dubs things I guess I was about to say they don't act like they are trying to save the world with their thing, but maybe that's not true. Maybe they are.
Yeah. Right. This is about preservation.
Octo says, yo, Jeff, I'm crying right now. Grubb and Mitch, Podcast Bomber Minotti, not to again dogpile on Microsoft, but I was thinking that it's odd how almost all of Xbox's franchise were not created in-house, with the exception of Forza and Sea of Thieves. Every successful IP that Xbox has fostered was bought or developed externally to some extent. Might not be a big deal, but do you think this might be indicative of the company's long-term struggles to create new things? Love you all. Congrats on killing it at Summer Game Fest. I mean, that's just, what was Xbox, right? At first, it was just the hardware division, and then they had to, make deals with these other game companies to get games on their system. They never had some giant, starting internal, development studio necessarily, right?
Yeah, it's, for years and years, a lot of times we go to E3, try to figure out what these companies were going to bring. It's Sony, PlayStation's got 4 times the number of studios as Microsoft. Microsoft's just not going to have a lot. And that was true for years and years and years and years. Like, they just did not see the benefit of spending a ton on first party development. And now that's changed because of Game Pass. But they were moving further away. Like, they were going more in the direction of let's make even fewer games as they were like getting more and more into Xbox One until they kind of came to the realization of Game Pass. So yeah, it's not too surprising that just a few years removed from that strategy, they still don't have a ton of in-house developed IP. And these days, it's like, it's hard to develop a new IP in general. All the big games, not all, many of the big games are existing IP, not even video game IP. I mean, look at Ubisoft. They used to make their own IP, and they're like, we could turn anything into the next Assassin's Creed. We're going to do that with Watch Dogs. And then that doesn't happen. And now what is Ubisoft making? Star Wars and an Avatar game. And it's like, and WB's making a Harry Potter game, and they're going to use their other IP instead. So this is just indicative of like a wider trend in the industry on top of Microsoft sort of not ever having a huge investment in first party until now.
Jeff. Jeremy made fan art of us as the Beagle Boys. I just DM'd it to you on our DMs in Discord. Oh my God. This is everything I've ever wanted. This is the greatest thing that has ever happened to me. Thank you so much.
Wow. Okay, I'll put it up, everybody. Hang on.
Oh my God. Oh, I'm like almost crying. This is so good. This is fantastic. I'm so happy. This is we're wearing our tropical shirts from yesterday. Duckburg's behind us. This is everything I have ever wanted. Holy freaking crap. Oh my God. The Beagle Boys, they're dogs. You get it?
Yes, they are dogs. I think I get it.
That's actually just incredible. I never even thought about. God, I love those stupid bastards. Beagle Boys.
Beagle Boys.
Is it up on the? Are you showing the people yet?
I will be in one moment.
You get your moment.
There you go, everybody.
I'm hyping this up. Oh my God, fantastic! Thank you so much, Jerome.
Oop. There we go. Yeah, not bad.
Thank you so much, Jerome. It's so good.
Thank you, Jerome.
I love it. I love that. It's incredible. We're stupid little like prison numbers too. Fantastic.
Yep, I like it a lot.
All right. Where was I? I have to get back to all this stuff. The next one here is from Lenny Cool Dick Denver. That's right. Wait. Yes. Who says, hey, Jeff hasn't washed his hands since touching Robomitch's feet. Grubb and Mike, the one Nintendog who actually beats games naughty. Will AEW Fight Forever actually run decent on the Switch, or will it run like a train through Ohio? I forgot that game is coming to Switch. I bet not. I bet it does not run well on Switch.
I would assume it probably is not going to run well on Switch.
I don't know. Turbo Scar says, hey, Jeff, more money back Grubb and Mike Thick Wallet Minotti.
That's
Which
right.
part of the world should the next Pokemon game be set in? Ohio is not an answer. Canada. I want a Canada Pokemon. I'm not even joking.
I want one that takes place in the bespoke area of South America.
South Americans.
With the South Americans.
Gigantes says, hello to my dogs. Can I get a good howl as we are on the eve of getting a Direct? Oh, this is from before the Direct. Oh, he's got prediction now. So, okay, we can make fun of his predictions, I guess. Persona 3 Reload announced for Switch. Sorry, didn't happen.
You stupid bastard.
Mario Baseball announced for August. We thought that there's a chance there, but sadly, no. Although, when you think about it, it's like the baseball season already started. Maybe you kind of missed the boat on doing the baseball game this year.
I think we all just decided like that doesn't matter for a Mario sports game. But
I guess maybe it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Mario 2D game announced for this winter. A little bit earlier than winter, actually, but pretty much right. May all my predictions come true or we riot. Many thanks. There you go. There's another pirate. We have a lot of pirates.
Yeah, good job, Gigantes.
Yeah. MDY says, hey, dogs. Recently, a 50-minute video from Space World 2000 was digitized and remastered from the GameCube unveiling with a lot of show floor footage of game demos. Did you just click it? Is that what that noise was?
Maybe.
Yeah, brilliant, Jeff. That never saw the light of day as full games. It includes Perfect Dark, Conquer, and Banjo over the GameCube. Do you guys have any particular presentation tech demos that you wish got turned into a full game? Jeff, we should watch this. We should talk over this at some point. We should make some content.
I would love that.
From this
yeah,
video.
Totally. Let's go.
Let's make sure we do that. Let's not
All right.
forget.
Oh, Mario
I know we're
128.
busy. Yeah, man, I miss those tech demos. Those are always so much fun to watch. I'm trying to remember now if there ever was like there's like a tech demo that didn't actually get turned into a game. Like there was like that Final Fantasy 6 like 3D tech demo that was just kind of showing what a 3D Final Fantasy might look like, which was neat, but I didn't necessarily need Final Fantasy 6 turned into a 3D game, and it clearly was never meant to be that either. Mario 128, sure, like that was but even that tech demo was just a bunch of Marios running around a spear. Like there wasn't a game there. So I don't care much about that Space World Zelda, like the GameCube Zelda tech demo that everyone got mad about. And obviously I'm glad we got Breath of the Wild, but that Zelda tech demo that did just look more like glossy like Unreal Engine and Zelda for the Wii U, that did look kind of cool. I wouldn't have minded if that was like a real game, but again, obviously getting Breath of the Wild was more than fine.
I like the Final Fantasy tech demo for the Ultra 64 before Square Enix is like, fuck this, we're going to go to the disc-based system.
Yeah, that's the one I was talking about for a while. Were you ignoring me?
Yeah, I guess they didn't register with me. That's what you were saying.
Yeah, that one used Final Fantasy 6 characters.
Yeah, it was okay. You said Final, and that's right. It was Final Fantasy 6 characters, but it's like I always mistook it for Final Fantasy 7, and I found out recently it was never anything related to Final Fantasy 7.
No, it's just them showing off. Like, yes. I'm sorry to come at you, Jeff.
No, it's fair.
You didn't deserve that.
No, I was trying to remember, and then you just hurt my feelings.
Well, then that's okay. The Final Fantasy. Well, speaking of Final Fantasy, hey Jeff, I'm actually pretty horny, Grubb. And Mike, hey, that's my line, Minotti. Jesus. Is there any PlayStation or Xbox IP that you think Nintendo would much better utilize than them? For me, I'd love to see Nintendo's take on Sly Cooper or Blinks the Time Sweeper. I mean, Blinks for sure. How about Banjo-Kazooie?
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
Do something with the,
yeah.
Jumping Flash. How about that? We'll take Jumping Flash.
Anything that has like a mascot and has any platforming, I'd rather see Nintendo do it than either of those companies, yes.
Unless it was like, I mean, they did a really good job. Like, obviously, Insomniac Games is allowed to keep making Ratchet and Clanks.
With the exception of Ratchet. There you go.
Shiamiro says, hey, Mike, Flaky Feet Minotti, and Jeff, hey, how about that silent clock in 24 Grubb? What do you think a good modern Star Fox would look like? I think it would actually look like Crimson Skies on the original Xbox, kind of more open worldy sort of a thing.
I like that. I think it would probably look like what's the Ubisoft Toys to Life spaceship
Starlink?
game? Starlink. I think it would just be Starlink, but with more Star Fox hooks than it already had.
G-Mancer says, hey, fuckers, which of you two would look better after obtaining the new elephant power up? I don't know if anybody looks good as an elephant. I don't know.
I think I'd look fucking fantastic as an elephant.
Good for you. I like the confidence. Chuck1991 says, Nintendo used to say something to the effect of Paper Mario is no longer an RPG because we have Mario and Luigi. It's been nearly 5 years since the last Mario and Luigi game, which was a remake. The closure of Alpha Dream and the Super Mario RPG remake imminent. Which of these scenarios is the most likely to happen? A new Mario and Luigi, a Super Mario RPG gets a sequel, or the next Paper Mario is an RPG? Is it? Okay. I shouldn't say it's the most likely, but man, it's crazy that the idea of Super Mario RPG getting a sequel is not out of the realm of possibility anymore.
Yeah, it's probably not the most likely. The most likely probably is of these is that Paper Mario is an RPG again. I still don't think that's even that likely. But boy, I would like a Super Mario RPG too. That would be That'd cool.
Be incredible. I don't think we're gonna get a new Mario and Luigi.
No,
not for like a long time.
Yeah, they'll come back to it eventually, but not anytime soon.
Bench JC says, hey, gang, what do you like to do when you're sick? I just got COVID, and I'm going to play Final Fantasy 16 for I hope you feel better, Bench. Yeah, I like to sit around, drink a lot of ginger ale, and play video games with like a blankie. I like to even in bed, just like to lay around in bed a lot is basically what I like to do. I like to take like my Dayquil, NyQuil, be just kind of in a daze, and play video games, drink my ginger ale and chicken soup or something.
I mostly just like lie in bed and writhe, mostly writhe, and then complain and moan about being sick. I'm a big baby. That's what I like to do.
Okay. Oh man, the super chat at first was like, "What is this gibberish?" And we'll get to it. I'm like, "Oh, I know exactly what he's talking about. It's a monkey island thing." Just only took me a second. I'm proud of myself. Next one here is from DMC Depressed Me Crying. It says, hi, Jeff, Beelzebubsy, Minotti, that's funny, and Mike, Robocope, and C. Grubb. He's just saying hi. Thank you, DMC. Big Tony says, my dogs, Tears of the Kingdom is amazing. I messed around the world for about 80 hours, and I accidentally did the last temple, Minoru, first. What was your oopsie whoopsie fucky wucky moment while playing Tears of the Kingdom, if any? Thanks. I don't know. I don't know if I did too many. I mean, I definitely got hit by lightning because I forgot to take.
Oh
like,
yeah,
off,
sure. And I'm like,
metal.
I don't have any metal things, and it's like, oh, I have my metal fucking bow and arrow out or something. It's like, okay, of course. Mine is that it was just like I would not be paying any attention to any of my quests, but I would accidentally be completing most of them, and then I'd go back and talk to all the NPCs, and they'd be like, all right, now go do this. And it's like, oh wait, I've already done that, and it's actually kind of cool because that's how the game is built.
That's not too much of an oopsie whoopsie.
Yeah, it's kind of like, oh, it's oopsie whoopsie in maybe some other games. Here it's just like, no, this is totally fine. We're just gonna let you play the game that way for sure.
Jeremy Biff says, hello, Jeff. I'm gonna play Fae Farm instead of Starfield with Jen, AJ, and Bailey Grubb. And Mike, I'm gonna get matching face tattoos with Ben Starr and going to make a BBC sitcom with him. Minotti. Earlier in the year, people were saying that Nintendo was going to have a slow year after Tears of the Kingdom. After the last Direct, Nintendo was going to have a way more exciting fall than the competition. Well, why do people doubt Nintendo when they have more consistent release scheduled than Sony Xbox? Why do people assume that Nintendo's going to have a slow year after Tears of the Kingdom? I mean, I think a lot of people just assume that because they were taking a while to talk about what was coming next. We didn't really know. But I think us maybe not even earlier thinking about 2D Mario was a mistake. We were too focused on thinking about 3D Mario and talking ourselves into why that wouldn't happen. But Sony and Xbox are also going to have pretty good rest of the years here.
Spider-Man 2, yeah.
Yeah, those are both gigantic releases for the holiday. I think it's just good eating all around right now.
I agree.
JD Camp says, what's the strongest weapon you can fuse using only the items within reach here? Okay, so
I could use this microphone arm, and I could fuse it to my big water bottle, and that would fuck some people up, I think. So, yeah.
Please don't admonish me.
What is why is it on his crotch? Is that
funny?
Oh, Sonic is okay.
On his crotch. It's a skin whistle.
You're gonna fuse a skin whistle to Sonic's crotch?
Then I'm gonna smack Ganondorf with it.
I think Ganondorf would just walk away in silence and disappointment.
He'll be defeated.
Yeah, definitely.
Look, I'm just trying to make content here, people.
Okay. Good for you.
You can't get mad at me.
Good for you.
Next one here is from Drewman. It says, yo, Mikey and other guy. I finally got my hands on an analog pocket, and this thing is fucking wicked. Visiting more Game Boy than ever. You guys have any favorites I should try? Game Boy Advance Hidden Gems. Great call on Ghost Babel, by the way. Yeah, I saw it the playthrough. Ghost Babel.
Ghost Babel's great.
I am very excited to do that. Have you heard of Bach, Ty? That's a fun one. There's so many good Game Boy Advance games.
For the Game Boy Color.
Yeah.
Is a basically Warcraft, but for Game Boy Color, and it's actually surprisingly good. One of the best things about it is there's all these different wizards, and they're like the color coded like Lord of the Rings. So there's like a brown wizard, and he kind of sucks, but he can control chickens, I think. Like that's his like power, but then you get more powerful wizards as they like go up the color spectrum or whatever. It's pretty cool.
Don't sleep on Pokemon Puzzle Challenge, I think it's called, for Game Boy Color. My favorite puzzle game on Game Boy or Game Boy Color. Yes, even more so than Tetris, actually. God, yeah, I'm trying to think of, like just saying Nintendo stuff. Like
Stuntman for Game Boy Advance. Stuntman is actually a surprisingly good 3D driving game for the Game Boy Advance. And it's all about just doing these, it's Stuntman if you remember that game, but it's about doing these performances for these scenes in movies. And there's a little digitized voice like sideswipe, do the jump, do a U-turn, all that stuff. And you just got to nail it at the right time, and you get the check marks for each thing you do right. It's a really fun game.
Double Dragon Advance, actually one of the better Double Dragon games, especially like in the post-NES era, when they didn't make too many more good Double Dragon games. We talk about that Episode 3 Star Wars game a lot. That's really fun. But you probably know about Donkey Kong 94, but if you don't, get Donkey Kong 94 for sure. Okay. Next one here is from Ed. It says, "Are you both ready for the biggest launch day in Switch history?
Let's fucking go."
AEW, Raincoat, Ghost Trick, and the Smelly Horse game. Man, this sucks because I want Jeff to play Horse Trick so bad, and this is just not the time for me to be able to get Jeff to play Horse Trick. Horse Trick, Ghost Trick.
That's the second time you said horse trick both times. And I was just like, wait, what is it?
The horse emoji, too.
Sure.
Excuse me. Ghost Trick. This is a bad time to get Jeff to play Ghost Trick.
Listen, I would 100% play horse trick. I've been to Tijuana. I've seen a good horse trick. But I'm
I'm the one in trouble. I'm the problem here. Jeff talking about fucking a horse or watching somebody fuck a horse.
Somebody fuck a horse. How dare you? I would never.
Don't they do that? Don't they do that in Clerks 2? They just like casually like hire a guy to like fuck a donkey.
Yeah,
and like,
we thought
we thought the donkey's gonna fuck a girl. Now it's weird because it's a guy fucking a donkey. It's like it's always gonna be weird.
I think Clerks 2's all right. Like
it's okay. I didn't see Clerks 3. Is it good?
I don't think I've seen it. Yeah.
No, I need to see it. Do I need to? Maybe not. But whatever. CPU says Sonic has a game coming in October. Mario's a game coming in October. Do you think they should do a crossover? Maybe Sonic can finally be in a good platformer then. I think that they should, and this is crazy, I think they should make an Olympics game with the two of these characters.
That's wild. Did I tell you that I was at the Olive Garden and someone yelled, some kid at the other table was just like, Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games, as loud as he could. And I was like, what the hell is going on? Are we under attack? Yeah.
Are we under attack? Yeah, it's like Pearl Harbor. They're not screaming Tora, Tora, Tora. No. They're going to scream Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games. I don't think there's ever going to be like a platformer starring both of them, right?
No, I don't think so. I think they will keep doing weird games together, mostly the Olympic Games, some other stuff here and there, but it won't be a platformer.
What are you expecting, sir? World War III.
World War III.
Okay, and then from Sarah Fitz-Kane, who says, "Hey, Mike, #1 YouTuber among feet people, Benatti, and Jeff. I just want integer scale with Mario. Is that too much to ask?" Yeah, that whole thing. What do you make of the poor marketing of Fight Forever? Leakers who have gotten the game early have done a much better job selling it than THQ and AEW have. For example, the lack of any official Switch footage had been making that audience very unsure about pre-ordering, but leakers recently put up a Switch version and it looks and runs fine. Oh, making the lack of any official footage baffling. I mean, I think a lot of people in AEW who are excited about this video game were probably excited about it 2 years ago and are almost probably tired of it and went to get out. I think the delays is kind of like maybe threw off a lot of marketing plans that they maybe had with it. I don't know. Maybe they don't have a lot of faith in it. I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Like I'm watching this footage now, the Switch version, and it does seem to be running completely, mostly fine. I don't know. I just want to play this game, Jeff, and finally see what's going on.
Yep. That sounds like a plan. Maybe we should do that.
It is like even this footage though, it's like already oddly out of date. Like the tutorial, it seems to be like you're being guided by William Regal.
I mean, I think the roster for this game is going to be especially weird, even for a wrestling game.
There's some stuff like they said from the beginning, like we still want Cody Rhodes to be in it, like we know, but like it's just that is a problem. We talk about how hard it is to make video games. That's especially true. And you're making a wrestling video game where people sure do come and go.
It really, really looks like the N64 games. It really does. Yeah.
And that's fine.
That's cool.
Like, I do think a lot of people are going to be unkind about the visuals. They don't bother me.
Yep.
Next one here is from Christian, who says, "You think Elephant Mario uses his..." Wait a second, not again. I'm not reading that again. I'm not reading that again, Christian. You can't get me.
Wow, Christian, he's on to you.
And that's it.
What do you? I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, you get out of
here.
Sure,
yeah.
Wow. Yeah, you get out of here.
He wrote that 7 minutes ago.
Jeff, let's take another short break. We'll come back. We got some super chats. We'll talk about what we're playing. We'll get out of here. How about that?
Sounds good. All right.
You think Elephant Mario uses his trunk to smell his nuts?
No, I don't.
No? Okay.
I do.
He has to.
What is this, Jeff?
What is this, Jeff? Okay, let's get back to it. I'm ready.
Sorry, soundboard's fun.
Oh, wait, I want you to get this ready. we're gonna react. You're gonna listen to this song for the first time. We're gonna react to it at
Okay.
the end of the show. Okay.
Yeah, sounds good. You where are you gonna send it? You gonna send it on
Just the DM or set the. Yeah, here it is.
Okay.
I'll worry right now. That song starts loud. I would err on the side of soft when starting it. Okay.
Yep, no problem. I have it muted.
I always err on the side of soft, but my favorite side.
So I heard about you.
That's what people keep saying.
It's ready to go. So the Sega wouldn't demonetize us. Sega loves us.
All right, you ready?
I think I am. I'm ready.
Jeff, we are back. What have you been playing? Have you been able to like really get back into the Tears of Kingdom train since getting back from vacation? You find yourself being sluggish there? You try to like wrap that up? Or you still happy to kind of just run around, do your thing?
I am definitely back into it and very much enjoying it. I'm not playing it quite as much as I wanted to because this weekend, it's really been a weekend game for me. It's hard to get like a momentum going during the week because it's work and then hanging out with the kids and then usually doing a show like this and it's like, okay, maybe I have an hour at the end of the night, and then I am playing it at that time for a little bit, but then I get tired and I fall asleep. So it's been a lot of let's do some stuff around the house early in the morning, then let's go hop on this beanbag and play like probably 4 straight hours of Tears of the Kingdom, and that's been great. But then this past weekend, I had, I was building the kids' play set literally all day on Saturday, and then we went to the Toledo Zoo on Sunday, and it was a lot of fun. But I didn't have much time for Zelda, so I'm like, oh man, am I gonna kind of fall out of it? It's like, no, I'll get home and I'll play some. And of course, just because this game is so easy to play, right back into the swing of things yet again. And it's good because I don't necessarily feel a need to track what I'm doing because I have had that experience so many times where it's like I'll just go do some shit. And I will either eventually find the person I need to talk to complete this quest, or I will just stumble across them. That's happened so many times where it's just like, I am doing this thing. I'm like these Poe things underground. I have no idea what to do with those, and I'm not.
So many of those that I barely ever did anything with them.
But I'm not worried about it because it's like if I need to do something, I'm sure I will find the person I need to talk to because that's just how it works. They have a good way of centralizing a lot of these elements in the populated areas that have other things that you need to go back to and mess around with to either upgrade Link's abilities or whatever. And then you're there and you're like, well, I haven't talked to that guy. And I'm like, I guess I'll go see what's going on. It's like, oh, then this is the person that was part of that quest. Oh my God, that's so strange. Mm-hmm. And it's not strange. The game is built that way. So it makes it very easy to just to answer your question, just poke around and keep playing the game and keep experiencing it like I have been. I am now slowly kind of piecing together what I need to be doing for this final temple. I will be doing that soon. I think that's probably going to be the next big thing as I've kind of gotten a little bit further into upgrading my armor and stuff. So I feel more prepared for those things. But yeah, it's just been so much fun still. It really is. It really is the best game of the year. It's just kind of no competition for me. It's amazing.
There'll be some competition, but I'll save those debates for another time.
For me, but yes, I get it. Yeah. Speaking of which, I'll end that poll and we can read that here in a second.
Well, yeah. So yeah, by the way, that poll, what do people like more, Konami or Capcom? Capcom, and I told people to consider it from the 8-bit to the GameCube era. Capcom won 64% with 193 votes to Konami's 35%. That makes sense. I think Capcom actually is the right choice, but I think it is benefiting still from Capcom's sterling reputation these days. And especially kind of being more associated with Nintendo, even like a 16-bit and 8-bit Konami, sure, but like that PlayStation era and even beyond Konami, much more PlayStation.
Yes, definitely.
So now that I beat Tears of the Kingdom, I was finally able to go back to my Pixel remaster kind of run through here. So I was able to start up Final Fantasy 3 on the Switch, which it was exciting for me because when I played Final Fantasy 3 the first time, it was that DS remake, and that was the first time we ever got that game in the West. So, it was cool, but it's a remake, and there's a lot of stuff added to it. Like in the original Final Fantasy 3, you play as like 4 very like nobody characters, right? Just like canvases, and you give them jobs, you give them names, all this stuff. The remake gave them like actual like official names and tried to give each of them personalities and added more like story content, right? And even at the time, I was like, this seems like a lot of fluff. I don't actually need this here. And 3 ended up being my least favorite of the single player Final Fantasy, even though I still liked it, but it was just the one I liked the least. And already I'm preferring this Pixel Remaster version a lot more because it is just basically that NES design. So it's very snappy, it's very fast paced. You do have the job system. It's not nearly as refined as it's going to be in 5, but it is still fun. But yeah, just there's something about these 8-bit JRPGs. I just like the pacing of them. The encounter rate is high, but I almost don't mind because it's especially in these Pixel Remasters where you can kind of do an auto battle thing. I can beat those people up and get my experience points. That feels good too. So yeah, I'm having another good time romping through here. It is weird how much time I put into Final Fantasy 3 this week because I'm able to play that in bed and still haven't been able to start Final Fantasy 16. But here we are.
Yeah, I'm like, I really am going to spend some time trying to get the Steam Deck to be able to stream PlayStation 5 games because then, from my PlayStation 5. Because I would really like to play Final Fantasy 15 or 16, in bed. That would be really nice. Mike, remind me, it is on the Super Nintendo. We got 1, 4, and 6 is 1, 2, and 3.
That's correct, Jeff. Good job.
Okay, I'm trying.
And 1 was obviously NES, but yeah, and then 4 and 6 were. Yeah.
That's yes,
exactly.
Totally. Yeah, okay.
We didn't get 2, 3, or 5 until much later.
And Japan really loves 5, right? That's the one they really love.
Yeah, and I mean they like 6 also. But 5 is like a seminal one over there. I'm using that word a lot. Whereas here, the people who play 5 will love it. It's definitely one of my favorites. Just way less people did because we didn't get a Super Nintendo. When we got it on the PlayStation 1, it wasn't a very good port. It was a bad translation. The fan translation was actually better for a long time. We didn't really get a very good version of that game until the Game Boy Advance version. And since then, nothing that really competed with that until just now, really, with this Pixel Remaster. So
if I were to be like, man, I want to give early Final Fantasy another chance, and I know there's the Dragon Quest game you want me to play, or you think I would
you should play 3 when that HD 2D comes out. If you're going to play Final Fantasy, I would actually probably have you play either Final Fantasy 1, which is actually pretty fun and snappy, or 5. 5 is very good because 5.
Okay.
Like people say, 5 doesn't have as much story stuff. It definitely has a lot more than Final Fantasy 1 and 3 do still, just not as much as 4 and 6. But there's enough of that stuff, and some of that stuff is
Am
fun.
I just good to skip 2?
You don't need to play 2.
Okay.
I like 2. I defend 2. You don't need to play Final Fantasy 2.
All right. Very cool.
Not at all.
All
you
right,
don't need to play 3 either, to be honest.
Okay. Yeah. I think I'll give 1 a shot. So I like NES games a whole bunch. So that might actually be the way to start with that. Okay, yeah. I'm interested to find out when you actually are going to start Final Fantasy 16, though. But I'm glad you're enjoying your Pixel remasters.
It's weird how busy, and to be clear, some of it's busy doing fun stuff. I was busy yesterday going to Margaritaville and Cheesecake Factory.
Yeah, totally.
But I wasn't home. I just haven't. And we do this Thursday, Tuesday, and it's a friend wants to do something this night, somebody else, and I don't want to just I have an hour. I'm going to start Final Fantasy 16, right?
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, so you got to actually commit some time to that game because
right.
You want to get the story set up. That can happen in the first couple hours, but then you really do need to start expanding Clive's abilities, and that's not going to happen until 5-6 hours in before you get past that first major battle with that person. And it really is important because you need to see how the combat evolves to know if you really are into it or not.
I think and Beaker says let's stream it, and I'm not really set up to my PlayStation 5 is the one thing I don't have in here, and I don't want to lug it into where my computer is, and I don't know, I don't want to stream it. I do so little couch gaming. That is one I would just actually like to do that with again. But I think I need to take a staycation soon. I think I'm going to take a staycation and just be able to play some games. Get through that, get through Diablo 4. I've been lagging behind that. The one I actually have been keeping up with pretty well is Street Fighter 6. I play Street Fighter 6 every day. That game's great. But yeah, there's a lot of other ones I'm just not having a lot of time with. Street Fighter 6, I can, even during work hours, I can sneak in a couple games here and there. Maybe, right? So
totally.
Jeff, let's catch up on the super chats before we start wrapping up. How about that?
Yeah, no problem. Let's make sure that I pick up from where we left off. We did that one. So that means we're at Hush Al Ghul says, does Mario Wonder release postpone Switch 2? No.
Nah, nothing to do with that.
Yep, not gonna affect it at all. B Traven, not Nintendo, but have either of you played Humanity? It is incredible, but I haven't seen much buzz about it. Yeah, that came out like right in the heavy Tears of the Kingdom zone.
Yeah.
But I regret not playing it. I'm going to play it.
It looked really fun. Because did Dan play it on a quick look or UPF? I think UPF.
Yeah,
And,
UPF.
It looks great, and like I would absolutely love to play it, but there are a few games, Jeff, that actually should just not have come out during this ridiculous time, especially some of these games coming out in June, like that System Shock remake. I think that's great. I want to play more
really
of that.
was into it, yes, and
I
played like 2 hours, and it was just like, okay, I have to put you down now because I can't. For one, it's like it is a complicated, I mean, not complicated, but it's its own kind of game, and you have to like learn its language and play it its way. Like, so I need to dedicate real time to you. I can't just be the thing I'm like bouncing between. But you're coming out in a time of year where I want to be bouncing between all these amazing games, and let alone the biggest game of the year. So yeah, it was a tough time for System Shock.
Like Park Beyond came out on June 16th, right? And that's a game like I was looking forward to. I wasn't able to cover it. I haven't been able to play it. I even like looked on I went to Wikipedia to see what its Metacritic is. Like I haven't heard like anyone even talking about it. Like got Review Kit was able to play it. What is its Metacritic? I don't even know. It's it's a 66. It's kind of low out on 20 reviews.
And we're not gonna have any time for anything now that went to everybody's Switch or whatever the fuck it's called.
What are we gonna do?
We're gonna play that because that's all. That's the only choice we have.
All right. Next super chat, please.
Yes. All right. I was going to download that game. I'll do that in a second. From Steven Sullivan. Can you see a port of Woolly World coming late into Switch's life, or should we hope for the Switch 2? I love the game and hope it's not stuck on Wii U. Isn't Woolly World the one that got ported to 3DS as well? You don't know because you don't. I know you don't care. I
forget. Woolly World's first, and people like that more than Craft World was on Switch, and people like that less. Right? That's the order. People like Woolly World.
I think that's right. Woolly World got ported to the 3DS already. That makes me think they are not also going to do a Switch port. So sorry to be the bearer of bad news on that.
And these people who like Woolly, again, I mean, I don't remember disliking Woolly World. I definitely also probably liked it more than Craft the World, but it also just kind of, played it and never thought about it again.
Woolly World has really, really fantastic shorts that my kids watch all the time. So that's what I like.
I thought you meant pants. I was like, what are you talking about?
Oh, yes. We've got really great short pants. Love them.
I'd like to see Yoshi wearing pants.
I like to see him in cargo shorts. Yeah.
Yeah, with like big pockets.
Yeah, or jean shorts like John Cena.
Next, please.
From Uriel Delgado. I can't find the Mad Monkey. It's not at 35N 89 West, or 35 North 89 West. And then the snorting mad emoji. I don't know what this is about.
This is a Monkey Island 2 puzzle with Chuck's Revenge. Are you sure you got the right coordinates? You had to go to the library on Fat Island to get the book about it. That's where you get the coordinates from. And then you have to, talk to the glass bottom boat lady or whatever, and she'll take you to it. That's what you're supposed to be doing, glass bottom boat lady. Jeff likes that. I'm trying to remember her name. She has a name, and I can't remember it now. I'm kind of embarrassed. I don't remember.
Yeah,
I'm a fake fan.
You should be embarrassed.
Wait, it's like something Kate? Something Kate.
Kate Blanchett.
Something Kate. Kate Blanchett. But yeah, I forget exactly what the coordinates are, obviously. But hey, look, you have my permission to just look it up if you can't find it, because it is frustrating. Capsize Kate. Hey, Capsize Kate. Let's fucking go. I'm a real fan again.
I'll let everyone know there is no one in chat saying that. Mike was there first, so well done, Mike. Uriel Delgado comes back and says, my bad, I read it wrong. Do you think Xbox's attempt at buying Sega led to Microsoft's attempt at buying Sega led to instead a better relationship with Sega? Seems all new Sega things are on Xbox. I mean, I think that they did not have like a bad breakup, like with like, oh, we're trying to buy you, and that didn't work out great, so things are going to fall apart. I'm sure that they, as part of the discovery process of like figuring out, is this something we can make happen? I'm sure they built a stronger relationship with Sega and Atlas, and that has paid off. But I also think that Sega has seen success in Game Pass, and so they keep coming back, despite Jim Ryan saying that all publishers hate Game Pass.
Mm-hmm. Why do you think that one didn't happen? Xbox buying Sega. Do you think Sega wanted too much? Do you think there's a lot of inherent value just in having to buy Sonic the Hedgehog?
I think it's like anything. There's so many reasons things don't have, like, one thing has to go wrong for something to fall apart, or one thing has to be kind of complicated and annoying, or one person along the chain of command has to say no. And it's like, well, now we have to like convince that person. And it's like, is it worth our time? There's a million reasons why
I think
these
it's
things
also
fall apart.
hard for, the multi-platform stuff. I think it'd be hard to tell Sega they can't release games on Nintendo. Like, that's one of the few third parties where Nintendo actually does matter quite a bit to, especially when it comes to releasing Sonic games on Switch.
Yeah, I wonder if it's like, I think it would look strange to acquire Sega and then be like, all these games could come out on Xbox and Switch, but we're not going to release it on PlayStation. I don't think they would do that. So it's like, it is the value there for them. I don't know.
Anything else?
Yeah, we have one more. The Uncharted Wolf. The Q2 predictions results PowerPoint is done.
Let's go.
Eyes
Look forward
emoji.
to that on Thursday.
We talk about that on Thursday, everybody. Every
Metacritic
quarter,
predictions.
we predict what we think the big games that are coming out are going to get on Metacritic. Me and Mike both guess. Wolf keeps track of it, and then we do an episode where we catch up on what we did, and then we make predictions for the next quarter. And we're there. Holy shit, we're going into Q3.
Quarter 3. Let's go.
Steph Tendo with the last minute says, calling it Horse from 1-2 Switch will be in Smash. I would love that.
If it was an assist trophy, it'd be funny enough.
I would love
Maybe
it.
a sticker or whatever the hell.
Just a shadow clone, whatever the fuck they're called, for like the Wii Fit girl. Let's do that.
Echo Fighter.
Echo Fighter, yeah.
Which it sadly does not mean that Echo the Dolphin is playable in the game. All right, Jeff, I sent you that YouTube link. You were talking about this actually on the Bombcast, but there's a rumor that Sega wants to bring back maybe Knights, which, maybe, but Burning Rangers, let's go. The most excited I've been. Oh, and here's the song from it. Is this being beamed there about right now?
Yep, never can hear it.
This is the first. Jeff said he never heard this song. This is why I'm excited about it. So here we go. This is the live reaction. Look, I mean, come on. We're coming in strong. We know the audio is chat. This is the best video game song, like, ever. I think. Go. It's from Burning Rangers, everybody.
You know what it reminds me of? My kids watch this PBS show called Super Y, and there's like a soul singer that sings the opening title to that, and it sounds just like that.
Oh, yeah. So I know this song. This is Samba de Amigo. I never played this game.
Yes, this is the Wu-Tang group.
Here's the chorus.
Sega Enterprises Limited.
This is the bridge. Here we go.
Wow, that's really good.
Oh, that fly high. Just do it.
Yeah, it's got to be hard to sing these lyrics convincingly, says one of the comments.
Yes,
It's beautiful.
You just have to do it sincerely,
Yeah.
right? You just can't, pretend like it's a joke. Cradle's rocking with love. What does that mean? Oh, those horns. Dreams have fallen off.
The comments on this YouTube video, I'm literally crying. This song is too beautiful.
I agree. She's gonna cry too. With an affection for her guy.
The singer of this song is Dennis St. James, the same guy who performed the music for Daytona USA 2 Battle on the Edge.
Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go.
Can this be our new closing team?
Sure.
Too good.
It's not even a Nintendo game. We can't do
I
it
could be on the
here.
other show.
Wait till you hear the solo. Wait till you hear actually the best saxophone solo ever.
That can't be true. That just can't be true.
It's like it's that or Rescue Ranger. The full version.
Let's fucking go.
Right?
Yeah, this game is about firefighters in mech suits. That's right, basically.
That's so good.
That's incredible.
I think that song just came.
I think the song had an orgasm. Yeah, singing music is just ridiculous. Oh,
This song makes me want to start a fire just so I can assemble a team to put it out.
there you go. Okay,
that's just-
I decided to show you the truth.
That's beautiful stuff. Thank you so much, Mike. I appreciate it. Should I hit the button to get us out of here?
Yeah, that's it. We're done now.
All right,
Yeah, sorry. Oh, I just got to expose that on to more people. All right, thanks for listening. What the week?
We got them all. We got stepped
Nope,
into
we got
the
it,
stepped
actually,
into.
Christian.
Yep, we are on it. We're professionals.
Yeah, go back to your hole. Thank you for listening to Last of the Nintendogs, everybody. Hey, Thursday, Game Met decides we're doing a Jeopardy on Friday. We're getting that assembled right now. Also, Thursday, our Game Mess Game Club discussion on Tears of the Kingdom is going to be happening 7 p.m. Eastern. So that'll be going on before Game Mess decides. So busy day. Thursday, also, the poll is up for next month's Game Mess Game Club, our first actual game we've been able to kind of play aside from Zelda in a while. So make sure you vote if you're.
What are the games on there?
It's the redemption thing. So it's like Return of Obra Dinn, Firewatch, Dark Forces, Republic Commando, Chicory, and Sports Story.
Return of the Obra Dinn, you fucking shitheads! Let's go!
Well, you're not allowed to.
I'm allowed to. I can do whatever I want.
You can't do that. You cannot do that.
I'm allowed to.
We banned people for doing that.
In the past, I was allowed to mess it up. That's what it was. Oh, I'm getting banned. I'm getting
Bye,
banned.
everybody. Cool, I like that. Do that one again.
Thomas.